Make sure you subscribe to Bubba Army HQ. Otherwise, Bubba will have to take action. And there's a lot of power behind those short arms.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Now back to the BRN.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
You readjusting your package? What are you doing?
Yeah, I'm readjusting myself.
If they get a hold of that, man, that's good eating for everybody, to be honest with you. Okay,
Talk about an eel.
You got three
Could
balls.
I not? Come on. Could I not?
There it is. Oh, close.
Man.
There it is.
There it is. 45 seconds. 45 seconds.
Here's where the action starts.
45 seconds. 45 seconds. Oh, they're getting on him, too. They're getting... Look at...
Get down low so they can get the chum. No. Oh, look, it's going. It's cruising around his sock.
No, that wasn't 45 seconds. You got to get back down there. You got 15 more seconds.
You are listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. AMJ, we're talking to you. It must be burning you up inside that you're no longer Arbitron rated #1.
I'm so sorry, baby.
Did you know that no one likes you? Yeah, that's right. Even the members of your staff and your coworkers can't stand you.
And just as I expected.
People are tired of your demands and hissy fits when you don't get your way. Everyone is on to you. You're a fake, a phony, a fraud. Thankfully, Bubba has put an end to your so-called morning domination. Oh, Lex and Terry, don't worry. We haven't forgotten about you. But since your show sucks so bad, we didn't want to waste that much time on the beggars and hangers-on that you are.
It's go time.
Welcome to the Arbitron rated #1, Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Spice, I got a little bit of a new configuration here in the studio. It's going to take, my timing might be a little bit off because I'm not looking at the same places that I have been now for nearly 3 years.
Yeah, you got a brand new setup over there.
I got a brand new Wizard of Oz type setup. But Brent, I've already noticed that I think it's going to make this area a little bit hotter.
Oh, over by you? Or in the front of you?
Yeah. Now, Dave, get on the wireless here because we want to have play-by-play coverage with you here. Dave is the one that configured all this. And it's very nice, Dave. I love it.
Sure, thank you.
But let me just ask you a couple questions.
Yeah.
Can I switch this monitor to that monitor?
Absolutely.
That wouldn't be a big deal at all?
No, not at all.
You swear?
I can do it in between shows, no problem.
All right. So, but I'm going to see if my timing, I'm just based on my timing today because, it's you get into a little bit of a routine.
Yeah, you're used to looking to the right to see the next gen, and now it's in the middle.
With this, can this be moved over a little bit?
Yeah, if I move your headphone hook, absolutely.
Yeah. I might, but see, well, no, I might be able to handle this. But I like to have this keyboard a little bit more centered.
No, after I installed it, it was probably about 2:30 in the morning Friday.
And I
said, let me let Bubba see it, and then I'll move it if need be.
Now, how hard is this to move?
Not at 4 screws. I'll do it between shows.
All right.
Now, I believe call screen, everything's back up, so we'll keep an eye on that.
Yeah, there's no phone calls now. Dave, man, this is awesome. Thank you.
Let me know, but I'll make those changes between shows.
No, my wish list would be, the only other thing I would want is this, is if I could have a little, how hard would it be to have a little light, like that Manson could hit a button, Ned could hit a button, Brent could hit a button, and Spice, and it has an SB, and like if we had interviews or something like that, they could hit a button and just a little, you could almost drill little holes right there or something like that, or anywhere in that matter. And like when we were doing interviews, if they had a question that came up next, they would hit just a little button, and then their light would blink.
I can work on making one. That's not something I have, but I can certainly make one. Yeah.
Right. All right, Dave.
No problem. Thank you.
I love you.
Love you.
I got great news. Dave, you might want to stay in here for this. I got great news. You don't have to participate. But Spice, I probably should Price is Right it. Remember the news that I called you that I talked about during dinner with Jay O'Connell?
Oh, yeah.
That's definitely Price is Right.
Definitely,
right?
Yes.
But I think the boys are going to really raise the roof on that, don't you think?
They're going to love it.
So stand by. Pre-zone drunk.
They're going to love it.
What happened here today in Canada? Oh, yeah, you guys are going to love this one, I promise. Manson will probably put it over the most. All right, so what you guys...
I like where the head's at right there.
Dave, Mike 4 is on that. What do you think about that, buddy?
I think that's phenomenal.
Love it.
That guy's the best. Man, I had dinner with Jay O'Connell, worldwide leader of Florida, on Saturday at Fleming's, and he's just the best. Seriously, he's the best. Now, see, I could never picture myself, Spice, in a million years having dinner with Dan DiLoretto over there again. I'm with you.
There's nothing in common with
I ain't
you.
got nothing for the guy.
Right.
We just sit there. Hey, Babs. Hey, Babs. Hey, babe. I mean, meanwhile, Laura, Jay's wife, her and Heather sat there and talked. And Jay and I were a couple radio nerds and just talked radio the entire trip, the entire dinner. But I mean, he's more in fact, I'm actually older than he is. I think he's 40, and I'm 42. But God, what a good guy! And that was a nice little bone, was it not, Spice?
That's great.
Oh, we're gonna have some shiz talkers out here in the area. Are we not, Brent?
Definitely.
Dave, thank you so much, buddy.
No problem. Thank you.
Which, by the way, Brent, they're working on. We got to solidify. We got to roll our sleeves up and get to work this week. A whole bunch of stuff to do, including securing getting all the ramifications for Toys for Tatas, which we're doing at Deja Vu. Probably, actually, Brent, I can actually give you a working date for that.
Okay.
Toys for, we used to call it something else, but the lovely government doesn't like that word anymore, so you guys get it. Actually, it's really corny, toys for Tatas, but you guys get it. You would know that we would not want to call it that regularly
if we didn't have to.
But we'll be live from Deja Vu, Brent, on Friday the 12th.
Yep.
On Friday the 12th. You're going to have to probably get with the other situation and either move that show that day.
Okay.
Or cancel it.
Okay.
Preferably the latter. Anybody Clem Jimming today? Spice and I Clem Jim on Saturday.
Yeah, I'll be in there today.
So will I.
Yeah, I'll be there.
Brent, Clem Jim, if you can give. Well, you got probably a ton of stuff, but you probably try to make it over, right?
Yeah, I'm going to try to make it today.
Spice, after I was at Jim's on Saturday, which, by the way, had a great time. Thank you for everybody that turned out. The turnout that Jim's had on Saturday was like 5 times more than they thought it was going to be. It was just an open house.
Yeah, it was a great day. It was really nice out.
Very nice. I went over to Brent. I was on my Harley, my Bubba Glide. And I went over to Brent, saw him, paid some respects to him. I now have a new, out of his pack of wolves, I have a new favorite now. Hootie, my ex Jack Russell, used to be my favorite dog over at Brent's because I gave it to Brent because I couldn't care for it. And I really don't have any, I haven't had any good time or have been able to spend any time with his Doberman that he rescued. And that dog's nice.
He's awesome.
Can I tell you the biggest dick of a dog that you had? Is that Basset Hound, dude. Yeah. He's a dick.
He's old, man.
He's like the Archie Bunker of dogs. He just sits there and bitches the entire time. If you're not petting him enough, he bitches. If you're in his house, he bitches. If whatever. You're paying some attention to some other dog, he bitches. But I love your Duke.
Oh, he's the best.
He's a beautiful dog.
He really is. And you see his ear.
Was he abused?
Yeah, you can see his ear was cut the wrong way because both of his ears go one way.
Yeah, but was he an abused dog?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Beautiful dog.
He's great, man.
Anybody watch 60 Minutes last night?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, I watched it too. I don't want to really get into it too much because I'm sure everybody will flip out. I tell you one thing I am concerned about, and I'm not, being a dick. Please don't take this anything from other than what I'm doing. But I'm concerned about that big goiter or whatever he's got on his left cheek. I mean, it looks like he's got a big wad of tobacco. I'm talking about McCain.
That's cancer.
And I'm not, hey, you vote for whoever you want. I'm not telling you who, but I'm just concerned for that.
What kind of cancer?
Melanoma.
That's all it is?
Mm-hmm.
It looks like a big tumor.
Yeah, a tumor.
Well, they just had it checked. Well, they had a different one checked out last month. So,
boy, in 60 Minutes didn't cut the guy a break either, man. They shot him left side. Manson did it not.
Yes,
they shot
did.
him left side and up tight. Meanwhile, if you look at the Obama shot, I really noticed this. I was watching it in my family room on my bigger TV that kind of spreads things out a little bit. And if you looked at how they shot Obama with his head in the very far left corner, sometimes to the point of cropping it, and then a whole bunch of window background to the far right. So like I'd say 60 to 50% of the right hand of the screen was just looking out the window, and they had him propped up a little bit in the left corner.
Yep.
Now I don't know if they were trying to bury the guy, or the camera guy wasn't paying attention, but they didn't have him centered at all. Now I pay attention to this sort of thing. They didn't have him centered at all, and I felt as if they shot him wrong, and I felt as if they kind of buried McCain in shooting him up tight and close and accentuating that goiter on the left side. So I don't know if they were trying to make. If they're trying to make Barack Obama look like an African head shrinker, like by a far shot, and if they were trying to McCain look like a modern day, like he had a wad of tobacco in his left, but they didn't do any of the two guys favors.
No. I don't know why anybody does interviews with 60 Minutes. They're not going to do you any favors.
I will tell you this, man. And you can tell where they edit and they cut. They didn't cut the guys any. I mean, they asked some pretty good questions.
They really did.
They really. I mean, it's the best round of questions that I've seen any of the candidates have to answer so far.
Definitely.
It really was. I mean, I thought it was fair, and I thought it was pretty hard driving. Now, the first presidential debate is this coming Friday.
Yep.
Yeah.
Is it going to be on all networks? I'm sure.
Yeah, it'll be on all networks, and they've agreed to more of a free-flowing format, except for in the vice. You should see the request in the vice presidential debates.
What's that?
The McCain campaign wanted each one ask questions and no interaction between the two, and no ability to respond.
So no debate, essentially, is what they wanted.
Oh man, that's horrible.
Right. Now Obama
A debate without the debate.
Right now,
Yeah.
Obama and McCain, the top guys, are going to really talk to each other, and you're going to see more of a debate.
I heard that Barack Obama actually is practicing all week, but I thought that he of the two was perhaps the better speaker, but they're saying now that he is a good speaker when prepared, but he doesn't have a lot of debate experience, and they feel that may be a little bit of a problem.
Well,
for
he's
him.
got more now after this long Democratic primary, and he did how many debates with Hillary?
Right.
I mean, he's got a lot now.
Right. But I guess they're concerned with that.
Well, I'd say Hillary is a better debater than McCain is.
I would too.
So I think if you got practice going one-on-one with that bulldog for 18 months, I think that he's in good shape.
Ned Manson, can we start working on some pro Rays stuff?
I'm working on something as we speak.
Of which, Ned, is the thing that we did Friday midday, is that transferable over here or no?
Absolutely not.
No, not at
The
all.
entire subject matter is.
You're right. You're right.
You know what
Titillating and pandering and yes, okay.
Yeah, sorry.
It is. No, I didn't,
Just can't do it.
It's kind of bad when I'm relying on you to set me straight on what's
That is bad.
what's terrible, because usually you come from the school of letting it rip.
Oh, that's less work for
You
me.
come from the school of oops, sorry.
I'm a wild card.
You are a wild card, man. How about the Bucks pulling one out yesterday,
and
boy?
the Jags.
Oh my God, I watched.
man.
Hey, I guarantee you, probably mostly everybody in this room was. I didn't watch the Indy Jags game until about 4 minutes left.
Me too.
And you didn't have to watch the game. You just basically turn it on with 3.5, about 2:25, 2:35 when Jacksonville's driving the ball. They end up settling for a field goal. They're up by 6. And then everybody in this room, I guarantee you, said, holy shiz. You got Peyton Manning, who historically does not run, runs a no-huddle offense. So the 2-minute drill, even the minute drill for him is just about as good as it gets. He is at home, and he's got 3 timeouts. I mean, come on.
Oh, it was a great drive. And when they got down to the 2 with 1:18 left, I was thinking, why don't you just maybe run it up the middle and not score on one play?
Yeah.
Make the Jags burn a timeout or run 30 seconds off the clock because they had way too much time. But I guess you just got to get it in.
I often think that all these pro football players, coaches, I should say, offensive coordinators and defensive coordinators should play Madden because man, if you got 1:07 left and you got a series of 3 to 4 downs and you're on the 3, that you just buy your time, at least make the other guys burn their timeouts, and then you punch it in, with very few left. In the NFL game today, first of all, when they kick off at the 35, and in the indoor aspect with getting there's not any wind elements. I mean, that's one thing, Manson, you have to consider as you're in the dome. You don't have the atmosphere. You don't have any prevailing winds. And by the way, that guy from the Jaguars, it would have been good from 63.
Ooh, oh yeah, he nailed it.
It was a 50 some yarder halfway up the net.
Yeah, he nailed it, man.
Scobie,
yep.
Goby. Oh my God. So anyway, Peyton Manning punches it in with 1:07 left. They leave the Bucks 1:07.
The Jags.
They leave the Jags with 1:07.
Way too much time.
Boy, the 2 running backs, Taylor and the Drew guy, my God, both well over a century mark.
Yeah, they both did real well.
And then the Jags with 1:07, and that quarterback, boy, Gerard, yeah. Gerard. And then punched it right on down with 7 seconds, 7 clicks left. Was it, Manson, how long was it?
51, I believe.
51 that would have been good from 64.
Whew. He nailed it, man. He really did.
And then, boy, thank God, because Jack Del Rio is a class act. Jack Del Rio is a good guy. Jack Del Rio is a good coach. And the Jags have gotten us on the bad end of some bad karma and luck on the first 2 seasons. And this is a game that a lot of people didn't anticipate them to win. They came out and dominated. Peyton looked like crap. Well, let me ask you a question, Brent. You're the huge football fan. What's up with the Colts 1-2 right now? They both defeats at home, which is uncharacteristic. They haven't won one yet in their new stadium.
Nope.
Has the league just finally caught up to their no huddle stuff? What?
No, Jeff Saturday, their center, hasn't been healthy. So he Sunday was his first time playing, so they were able to actually run the ball a little bit. They haven't been able to run the ball, so without.
So you just pin your back, play a strong nickel on them, and just let it rip.
Yeah, get after Peyton. Plus Dallas Clark's been out, which is one of Peyton's targets at the tight end. Which you take those things away from him, and he really gets, you can box him into being one dimensional, which they did. And Marvin Harrison hasn't looked that good. So
watched the Pack lose to the Cowboys last night. At least I watched it clear up until the 4th, and I'm like, there ain't no way. There's no way anybody's going to be able to bring these guys. You can't stop Marion Barber, who's a battering ram. My God,
he really is.
Anybody know anything about Marion Barber? It's like his face mask is too close to his nose. Have you guys noticed? Am I the only one that notices stupid stuff like that? Do you watch the game in that matter, Brent, or no?
Sometimes,
but I mean, it's like his face mask is like literally a half an inch from the bar, most guys have 3-4 inches. He's like literally right on it, and he doesn't have that big of a nose.
Yeah, he's tough. And then
that guy from Arkansas scampered. Yeah. The Pack looks, the Pack is, in my opinion, the Pack and the Bucks and the Eagles might be with Dallas, but in the NFC, man, you're looking at the upper echelon teams being, you're looking at Dallas and Eagles and maybe the Giants. And then and then the next level of teams would be in no particular order, maybe the Bucks, the Pack, Saints, Redskins. That's about what it is.
And Martin Gramatica blew it yesterday for the Saints.
Yeah, missed
2 field goals.
I saw it.
2 field goals.
Saw it. I'm gonna tell you who might surprise some people because they have a really easy schedule. Is Atlanta? Atlanta may sneak up on some teams. I mean, I know you're probably not really big on them right now, but the NFC's hurting, man. But, boy, how about some karma in the AFC where the Dolphins just got that Brown guy, 4 touchdowns. It just shows you how much.
5 totally threw one.
Yeah, how much. Here's TVD on the Pack and the Cowboys.
Beaten teams had to fall last night. The Cowboys took on the Packers at Lambeau Field.
Packers just couldn't get any rush.
17 of 30 passes for 260 yards and a touchdown.
I'll tell you, Woodson, for the most part, by Terrell Owens' standards, shut him down.
Yeah, because the Packers were saying, hey, you know what, you're not going to beat us with Terrell Owens.
No, we're going to beat you with Marion Barber.
They were helping over the top. The safeties were helping over the top with him, too. So
Look at this guy. Anyway, they shut him down, but, man, the Pack had no, they couldn't stop the run, and they couldn't get any decent pressure on Romo.
And then, you know what? They were one drive when they had something going. Grant fumbles.
Yeah.
Which was terrible.
Which took this team out of him all night long.
Yep.
I got to tell you, man, the Bucks looked decent yesterday once Greasy got into his. Greasy, I'm going to be honest with you, man.
He was hot and cold yesterday, but, man, he came through in the fourth quarter.
He was hot and cold. But I got to tell you, man, there might be a little bit of a quarterback controversy here in Tampa because I don't necessarily know when Garcia gets back if you throw him in there when Greasy had this type of performance against a team that is considered one of the better teams. Well, you know what? In that next echelon of NFC teams, you got to put the Bears in there.
Well, yeah, defensively, but offensively, man, the Bears.
I know, but still, they're a good team at home.
Yeah,
they're a good team at home.
I tell you,
man, when you agree that I wouldn't necessarily. I think at this point you got to give it to Greasy to at least start.
Oh, I don't think there's any way they're going to take Greasy out.
I don't either. 1-888-6-9. Bubba, Clem Jim today for you, Manson, or no?
Yep.
Today is Monday, right? So that's usually. You're Mr. Regiment, so you won't be there tomorrow.
No.
You won't be there tomorrow. Big. I spent most of the day yesterday, Brent, practicing at East Bay. That United Dirt Late Model Series, the one that Kenny runs.
Where you got to answer to Kenny.
You got to answer to Kenny. It's coming. It invades East Bay. They play all these. They race all these tracks around here, Alabama, and Georgia. Well, it makes it stop this Saturday night in East Bay out there in Gibsonton, and I'm going to be out there. And there's a huge bike show. Last year they had like 400 bikes. So Spicer probably need to call Greeny to have him put a flyer up there at Jim's.
That'd be great. Yeah.
But a big bike show, and I'm running, Brendan. I don't run that series very often, but I'm going to try to run that series this coming Saturday night.
Kenny said, you better not step out of line.
I was racing. I was practicing my car. My Bubba the Love Sponge 1025, the Bone, Miller Lite, Supreme Protein, Dodge late model yesterday. I was practicing it, and I just got to thinking, you know what? And then I put Big Mike in my car, let him drive a few laps, and then another crew guy. I'm like, I should bring the boys out here and let you guys try to run this thing one time.
Yeah.
Would you guys be interested on a particular Sunday coming out and taking some laps for just to see, Well, Brent, hold on, Brent. I'll take this back. Rather than to ask you, I should tell you. You have to, especially.
Dude, that's our Sunday,
Yeah,
man.
an extra day of work.
But I just threw you guys one hell of a December bone.
That's a good bone.
Yeah, I threw you one hell of a December bone.
Still our Sunday.
That's a 5-show December bone that Jay O'Connell just threw you. So coming out for a couple hours on a Sunday so that I can show you guys how hard this is. Shouldn't be a big deal.
Well, what about those of us that have never disputed how hard it is?
Well, then you wouldn't have a problem because you think it's fun. Then
I didn't say it's fun. I said it's
All right.
hard.
Shut up, Brent. One person to give me a hard time, which shouldn't be you. So anyway, Manson, you wouldn't mind doing that, would you?
Sure. I enjoyed it last time.
Yeah. Jorge Diaz, man, what a great guy. Saw him at Fleming's on Saturday. Had a great dinner at Fleming's, man. There's just nothing better there. Brent, I'd like to do a show dinner there. They got like little banquet rooms all around there that you can have, and I like to do a.
See, now we're talking stuff that's on my speed.
Hey, by the way, Spice Boy, I didn't get back to you on Saturday night because
I appreciate it.
Well, because Heather wasn't feeling well, man. She had a little bit of a procedure on Thursday, a little bit of a female procedure, and she's not feeling real good. But she took one for the team, went to dinner on Saturday, so we weren't going to go out. Did you end up going out that night?
Yeah, a little bit.
How'd it go? Hey, I promised you.
It was good.
I promised you that I wouldn't get into that situation, so we're not getting into it. But
right.
How was it?
It was good.
You guys getting along?
You're getting into the situation without getting into the situation.
Well, just asking about are things good? It's not getting into the
Things
situation.
are fine. Just fine, guy.
So is that person cool?
Jesus Christ, man.
Oh, don't use the Lord's name in vain now. You're supposed to be.
Just let it go.
All right. Now I'm taking advice. Now I'm letting you run the show. Hope my timing isn't off too much today. I'm looking at two different situations here that I'm not used to looking at. So I hope my timing. We've reconfigured my portion of my studio here a little bit. So I hope my timing isn't off too much. Spice, let me get my first one out of the way so we're not playing catch up.
Sounds good.
Well, you probably won't be hearing that on a Best Of show. The Bubba Radio Network returns after this.
Make sure you subscribe to Bubba Army HQ. Otherwise, Bubba will have to take action. And there's a lot of power behind those short arms.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Now back to the BRN.
What is good here?
Textbook case of what to do when everything spins out of control.
From the pictures, it looks nice.
The Bubba Radio Network will be back after this. Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Now, Frank, this isn't a special arrow. This is just one you can buy. It's a high dollar arrow, but it's not anything. It's going to fragment into 10 different deals.
No, we're also not going to count the feathers because when the feathers come out of the bow, they're spinning.
Right.
If that hits the pill, that's cheating. I'm not counting that.
Okay, here we go.
Okay. I'm going to take a few warm-up shots.
Here we go.
Jeez.
If that arrow went in you, Frank, would that get you? Yeah. That get you. Yeah. He's so calm, cool, and collected.
See the clothespin at the top of the net?
Yeah.
He just nailed a clothespin behind the back in the net.
You are listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Mike from Tampa. Hi, Mike.
Hi, this is Mike's wife, Laurie.
Who's this?
This is Laurie. I'm the dream interpreter.
Oh, hi, Laurie.
Good morning.
Now, hold on. You're the woman that was on the MJ show today interpreting his dream.
Yes.
All right, so that's what you do, huh?
Can I give you a disclaimer first?
Absolutely.
This was my husband's idea.
Your husband's idea of
to
calling...
start this little battle, so...
Well, there's no battle. I've won the war, honey, and I think that you probably, from all accounts of what I've been told, are actually onto something, and I don't think that he's man enough. Unlike him, I'm not afraid to put you on my airwaves to talk about him. Meanwhile, I'm number one. I'm the one that has everything to lose, but I think that your interpretation, from what I've been told, was dead on, and I don't think that he's man enough to admit it. And what did you interpret?
Well, I kind of agree with you because I think he was avoiding it, and he blamed it on Froggy.
Right.
Who's some guy that works with him on the show.
Yeah, Froggy's the
gist of
talented
the
guy.
dream-
Yeah.
The gist of
Wow.
the dream is that he's in a hotel, and he goes to get his car, and he's next in line at the valet, but some guy cuts in front of him, and the valet gives him no attention, and then the guy takes off. So he goes after the guy, trying to find him. There's all kinds of stairways and, real confusing, like MC Escher-like photo. And then, suddenly he's on an escalator, and he's going down, and he winds up in a raging river of muddy water. My interpretation was that the hotel symbolizes he's in a temporary situation. The guy cutting in front of him indicates that he feels someone has taken his place. Going down on the escalator indicates he feels that things are going or digressing. You always want to go up in a dream. That represents things progressing, reaching higher levels.
Right.
Going down is digression, things going in the wrong direction.
Right.
The raging muddy water almost always points to depression and uncertainty. And so he feels like that's where he's headed.
Now, when you brought all this up, did he completely, thwart all your beliefs and all your interpretations?
Well, he kind of went along with it, but he said what seemed to be going downhill was Froggy.
Oh, so he tries to say,
tries
it's
to
not
pull it
me.
off on poor Froggy.
My dream, I'm dreaming for people who work for me. Come on. But you know what? I'm going to have dreams, but they're for you.
Oh, okay, you're going to...
I'm going to dream like there's bad things happening to me, but it's really for you.
Oh, okay.
Because you work with me.
Oh, I appreciate that.
I'm going to dream for you.
Thank you.
Thank you. I mean, now, honey,
It has nothing to do with your own psyche.
Obviously, you weren't buying into that, were you, sweetheart?
No, I could tell he was not owning up.
Let me just give you the cold hard facts. And as you can see on our show, man, we don't edit, censor. We don't care what you say. I mean, you could virtually have said, hey, his dream interpretation was that he's on top of the world, Bubba. He's going to kick your fat ass. Your rating success is short lived. Your party's over. I wouldn't stop you from saying that, and I don't stop you from talking about him on my show. And we're number one. And he's number 3. But anyway, here's some data that they may not have given you that I can give you that may help you with your interpretation. One, I got fired off of radio. We were number 1 until we got fired. After we got fired in 2004, we were gone for about 4 years here in town, and he then went to number 1 and has been there ever since. We come back in January of this year, and, we poke a lot of fun at him, call him names and what have not. Well, before we became number 1, which was just 30 days thereafter, already in the first 2 or 3 weeks, him and his wife, filed several lawsuits against me that are currently pending, and I'm in the process of defending. So he's got like a whole bunch of lawsuits on me right now for slander and defamation of character, basically name calling. And secondly, when the first report card came out in February, we beat him number 1. Well, we beat him in every possible demographics, and we've not looked back since. So that is some data. Secondly, he tapes my show every day, transcribes my show, and then has his lawyers file interrogatories based on what we said. But it's a daily occurrence. We get no less between 10 and 20 interrogatories every Friday like clockwork for him and his wife. Subsequently...
Holy jeez.
Yeah, subsequently, because his wife is trying to distance herself from his show, because we poked fun at her a few times. And as you know, if you ever listen to his show, back in the day, well, up until January, she was a daily or at least a couple of times a week caller. She no longer calls in now because she's trying to distance herself from a public figure. So we've, put that little wrinkle into his life as well. He used to love to call his wife up, Michelle, and get her opinions. And I guess their lawyers now have told them, listen, she can't be on the air anymore. If you're going to sue Bubba for slander and libel, you cannot be a public figure, so she can no longer be a public figure. So she no longer calls the show as well. So that's the data that you probably didn't know that maybe you do now that might help give you some light on that situation.
Well, it certainly seems to make sense now. You're the car that cut in front of him and took his place.
I'm the car that cut in front of him. I'm the Brent. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that she
and
nailed,
this woman
nailed it without all that data, which shows it's kind of legitimate.
Boy, now you're haunting him in his dreams. This is awesome.
Wow.
Can I have her interpret a dream real quick?
Yes, please.
Only because it happened
I'd be delighted.
It happened last night and involves you.
From me?
Yeah.
Hold on, you had a dream.
Yeah, I mean, it's real quick,
are you
and it
being
involved
real?
you. Yeah.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, I'm like in a parking lot of like a strip mall, and you are driving Donna's car, and I'm in the passenger seat.
Donna's his wife.
Yeah, he's driving my wife's car, and then you pull up to this Italian restaurant and just go through the window, and then you push down an interior wall with Donna's car, and then you speed off, and you think it's hilarious. And that's it.
And you're watching from afar.
And I'm in the passenger seat.
Oh, you're the and where's
Kinda
Donna?
going, what the hell? She's not involved.
So
What's going on here?
But I'm driving your wife's car.
Yeah.
You're in the passenger seat, and you and I are driving together. And I pull up to an Italian restaurant, and I go through an interior wall and drive off and think it's funnier than hell.
Yeah.
What's that, ma'am?
Interesting. Okay. Does your wife, is she on a diet or is she having any sort of weight issues?
Yeah, she's kind of on a diet right now.
She's kind of on a diet.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now, the reason why Bubba's driving is because he represents being a driving force in your life.
That's for sure.
Is he in any way, since it's her car and not yours, it's about her and some path she's on, is Bubba in any way kind of a guide for her?
I just got caught.
A guide or an inspiration?
No, I mean we've
Whoa,
known each other.
where is this heading?
I don't know about this.
I like where this is heading. Keep it going.
No, I'm not. But keep it going, honey.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's talk, because the restaurant might represent the diet.
Okay.
You're trying to cut out, certain pasta, carbs, cheese, all that good stuff that comes with Italian food.
No.
I think Manchin's
Just
more
a bizarre
worried.
dream.
I think Manchin's more worried about whether I'm meeting Donna for some Italian restaurant stuff behind his back.
That's what I'm thinking now.
No, let's not get her in trouble here.
No,
the wall is me.
And the wall's you, and I just.
Would you say that you and Bubba have some sort of marriage? So to speak?
Hell yes.
Absolutely.
Now you're onto something, because him and I, we spend, we start our days at about 5:30. Him and I spend about 14 hours a day together.
Oh, okay. You're definitely married.
Yeah. Well, in that sense.
And Bubba is the driving force. You're in the wife position.
Yeah, I'm the bitch.
Yeah. He's my bitch. I pay him a lot to be my bitch.
Bubba's busting through walls.
Well, there you go.
Busting through barriers.
I think that's a good sign.
And you're riding
shotgun. Of things to come.
Manson,
This woman's dead on.
I'm busting through walls, and you're riding shotgun, baby. So
that's the way I like it.
And we're using Donna's car to do it.
But Donna's car used to be Hulk Hogan's car.
That's true, and Hulk Hogan is my best friend. All right, let me put you on hold to get my producers to get a hold of you so that we can maybe do this again, okay?
I'd love to.
Thank you. Hold on, honey. Manson, we're breaking through walls in the industry, and you are right by my side.
Riding shotgun. I mean, that's my dream.
And Donna.
And we're MJ's nightmare.
And Bubba thinks it's funny.
And I think it's funny. And we are MJ's nightmare. Seriously.
I mean, and the people we left behind in the restaurant were all outraged and clamoring, and we're driving off laughing.
That's Clear Channel. Brent, I can't think of the last time. Well, I guess the actual clean sweep would have been if the Saints and the Packers had won as well. Well, in Florida State, they got their ass kicked by Wake Forest. I guess Tom Bean probably flew back a sad participant.
Yeah,
took his private jet up there, and then they got their ass handed to them.
Yeah, FSU's defense is awesome. It's their offense is horrible. It's one of the worst I've ever seen.
Wake Forest hung 24 on them.
No, it was 12. I thought it was 12.
It was 12.
No, it was 24-3, wasn't it?
No, it was 12-3.
Yeah, it was defensive battle.
Oh, I did not see. Okay, I'm sorry.
Four field goals, 12-3.
Well, this was, and Wake Forest was what, 17, 15, 13, I don't know, 19, 19,
They were 17, and Florida State was 24.
Anyway, but the Bucks won, the Jags won, USF won, Florida won.
Yep.
Can't think of the last time that you had that much.
And the Dolphins really.
And the Dolphins
pulled one out on the Patriots tab.
Some scores over the weekend for NFL. Any upsets in college? They didn't give me a college rundown.
Gosh, I can't think of any off the
Notre
top.
Dame got their ass kicked by Michigan State. I really got to think that maybe Charlie White's just gone.
Yeah, I don't think so.
God.
Notre Dame's defense is there. They just offensively they couldn't get anything mustered up against Michigan State.
Matt from Brooksville, hold on, you're next. Don't go anywhere.
East Carolina was the closest thing to an upset.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah. If you're
Notre Dame has just got to do two things, man. They've got to lift their academic standards. I mean, seriously.
Yep.
You can't have the best of both worlds. You can't have
that fag stuff. Forget that.
Exactly. Well, I mean, you can't have, for the most part, athletes coming out of high school are either really good athletes and marginal students or really good students and marginal athletes. You cannot. The kids just don't have enough time to dedicate on what it takes to be a good athlete nowadays and be a good student.
Nope.
Now, hey, I'm not trying to say, be an idiot and be able to run a 3.940.
But be that as it may, it helps fund these universities. So
you have to have,
it's one or the other, man.
I was a C student in high school because I didn't apply myself, but If long as you have over a 2-0, you should be able to get in. But like Notre Dame's like a 3-5. You tell me any good brother, any good dude running, a 4.3 40 living in Miami that could be like a premier running back that's got a 3.5. It ain't happening.
Nope. Mm-mm.
Notre Dame has got to, 1, lighten their schedule up just a tad, and then 2, do something with these standards that they have. Although it befuddles me how people like Mark Bavaro can get in.
That was back in the days where
well, when it was back in the day when Lou Holtz or whoever went down to the president and said, "Hey, listen, I know this guy's got a 1.9, but really it's a 2.2. I know he's supposed to have a 3.5, but he's 6'5", 240-pound white boy from Boston area that can catch the ball. So I hope that you and the board of whatever's can look the other way there, Dildo. I need this kid to come in."
Right.
Over the weekend, Atlanta over Kansas City, the Giants over Cincinnati, Tennessee Titans 3-0 over Houston, which I don't know how good of.
Yeah, and Houston was coming there. A lot of their players were involved in that hurricane. So
Washington over Arizona, Denver over New Orleans. Grammatica had a chance to win it last second, buckled 2, but with. How long was that last one that he buckled? 45-yarder?
Oh, if it was probably shorter than that. It was probably 38.
Wide right. Buffalo over Oakland. Supposedly Kiffin's kid's getting fired today.
Well, you know why? Because he had
because Al Davis is a complete dick?
Number one. But number two, on Sunday.
Senile?
On Sunday, I was watching the Buffalo game. So Buffalo's driving for that winning field goal. The Raiders have 2 timeouts left, and they just let Buffalo just run the time all the way down and didn't use their timeouts. They went to the grave with 2 timeouts.
Buffalo 24-23 last second Willie over Oakland. Oakland 0-3. I think Buffalo's 2-1.
No, Oakland's 1-2. They beat Kansas City last week.
Miami all over New England in an upset. This Brown kid out of nowhere. They're now doing high school type direct snaps to the running back. Which hey, it worked.
You know what they were doing was they were running the option. They were faking it or handing it to Ricky Williams, and Brown was taking off, and then they ran the fake to Ricky Williams and a long pass.
And Miami didn't just sit and win, man. They annihilated New England 38-13.
It was great.
Bucks in overtime over the Bears, 27-24. Great game for the Bucks. Congratulations. Vikings over Carolina. San Fran over Detroit. Detroit's hapless, man.
They are terrible.
When's the Ford guy who owns the team going to get rid of this Matt Millen guy? Was he a center or a linebacker for San Fran?
I want to say he was a linebacker.
Had no NFL experience, had never coached, and never done nothing other than played, and then all of a sudden he gets catapulted to the general manager's job.
They won't fire him.
He's been there, what, 5,
no,
6,
maybe
7?
6, 7 years.
Yeah, and they will not get rid of this guy.
He's horrible.
The Lions are terrible. Too.
Seattle over St. Louis.
Talk about horrible St. Louis.
Yeah. Baltimore over Cleveland. Cleveland can't catch a break. I think they're 0-3. I don't think they've won. Did you see where, I forget, somebody was trying to make a play for Brady Quinn? I think it might have been Kansas City or St. Louis was making a play for Brady Quinn.
Well, Kansas City needs it. They've had 3 different starting quarterbacks in 3 games.
Dallas over Green Bay, 27-16. Philly's for real.
They're
Did you see him absolutely just throwing Big Ben around like a sack of potatoes?
8 sacks. Yeah,
man, that was. Whew,
and finally, our boys up there in Jayville in a last-minute nut puller.
That was great.
Straight out of God, what a good game! What a good game! And that Garrard man, right? Minute 7, ball on the 20, and chucks it right on down there and gets a win. Good job to the Jags. All good jobs to the Bucks and the Jags. Both close games. We got Matt from Brooksville. Matt, how are you?
Pretty good. How you doing?
Good, buddy.
Hey, I got a question for Brett. I'm a big Gator fan and watched that game against Tennessee. They steamrolled Tennessee. Also, Auburn lost it. I know we don't play them this year, but it's good that they lost. And I'm just thinking, we got LSU coming up next. And what do you think about that? And do you think a prediction would be good about the Gators in the national championship against USC? And what would you think that would come out to?
I think a guy would bombard you with about 4 questions. And a lot of it's like way too soon to be calling.
Yeah, well, first of all, Ole Miss is next for Florida, and they're going to annihilate them. Ole Miss comes here Saturday. And then, you got to look at Florida's got to play in the SEC championship game before they can, or they got to get to the SEC championship game. They've still got LSU to play. They still got Georgia to play. They still got a lot of tough games to play. So they got to win the SEC East, and then they got to go to Florida State and win there. So Florida, I think there's three. The three best teams in college football, in no particular order, are USC, Oklahoma, and Florida. And then
Oklahoma is
at the top
tough
tier
this year.
Yeah, Oklahoma is really.
They haven't
good.
even been tested yet, have they?
No, but the Big 12 is good, and the Big 12 is a lot of offense this year. So Oklahoma, USC, and Florida, I think you'll see two of those teams in the national championship.
Spice, did you see in the Tampa Tribune today, developers of the Element, a downtown condo still under construction, plan to rent units as apartments after the condo market has not improved. They can no longer sell these things.
Yeah.
And this place is unbelievable.
It is. It's nice.
Can we get one for $5?
You could probably get it for about $7.50. You offer them $5, they're asking for $10, $7.50 a month. Developers of the Element, a still incomplete 35-story downtown Tampa condominium tower, are considering converting much of the building into apartments for rent until the housing market approves, giving buyers at least 1 and 2 year leases.
I'll be there.
Love it.
So even if they were going to sell it, you'd still get at least a 1 year lease.
Love it.
That is awesome. A shortage of qualified buyers forced the hand of this Tampa Development LLC, whose completion of the neighboring Sky Point condo tower was among a few success stories in the imploding urban condo market. It's considering renting out units ranging from 691 feet to nearly 3,500 square feet, and using the income to help cover its debts until the sales climate improves in a couple of years. Now, Spice, have you done any research with regards to this?
Yeah, I have. And,
with this property,
a little bit.
Beautiful,
now, like Sky Point next door to it is awesome. And
now, where are we talking about here, streetwise?
Streetwise, I wish I could tell you the name of the street.
Like Ashley and is it?
I mean, it's right in the heart of thick of things, right downtown. It's not
now,
down by Channel Side. It's up more.
So it's over there by the Performing Arts Center.
Exactly.
I know exactly where it's at. It's off of Ashley.
Exactly. There you go. And so you've got Sky
right
Point.
by the library.
There you go. Exactly.
Uh-huh.
And Sky Point's great. And that place actually starts jamming about 3 in the morning when everybody gets home from the clubs.
Right.
And the whole place goes ape until about 5 in the morning with parties and stuff.
In the apartments?
Yeah, everywhere.
Well, so much for trying to live there and be
yeah,
quiet.
I mean, if you're like an older individual,
like
Sky
me.
Point's not the place you want to be. But if you're young and like to party, that's it.
Sales prices for the 395, nearly 400 units range from $220 to nearly $1 million. That's proved to be way too rich in the condo market, where foreclosures and bankruptcies are running wild.
Yeah, $220 for a 691 square foot apartment.
Ain't happening.
Ridiculous.
3 prominent condo tower bankruptcies within sight of Element are Trump Tower, the place of Channel Side, and the towers of Channel Side. So Spice, I mean, I'd go down there right now and say, hey, I'm Spice Boy, and I'm looking for a nice unit.
Well, I looked at some other ones downtown. I looked at Grand Central, which those are really nice.
When are you looking at a possible move-in date?
Probably 6 months.
Really?
Yeah, I got to wait for things to shake out.
Melissa from Hudson. Hi, honey.
Hey, Bubba. Good morning, and good morning, gentlemen. I just wanted to say thank you for the tickets to the Rays game Friday night. I had an absolute blast.
Did you go see Spice Boy?
I did, and let me tell you, every female in that box, young, old, married, single, had the hot for him big time.
Are you serious? So the scuttlebutt, whether he knew it or not, or the chicks were like, holy, look at Spice.
Oh, yeah. Every one of us. Every one of us.
Now, which one were you, Melissa?
Yeah.
What do you look like, honey?
Well, I was one of the 2 grandmothers in there. Short, curly hair, green shirt, green capris.
Oh, right
in the front row. Was laughing with Spice about Stifler's mother that was coming up the aisle.
That's right. Well, thanks for coming out. I appreciate it. Glad you had fun. Was she a gilf?
Hey, I had a blast.
Yeah.
I had a blast. Thank you, guys. Have a great day.
Thank you, sweetie.
Hot gilf.
Spice, was there any MILFs or GILFs or any type of action? First of all, did you go by yourself or did you take somebody?
No, I went by myself.
You did?
I had some friends meet me there and stuff.
Right. So were you in the market to be taking one of these GILFs, MILFs, or any otherwise home?
Not really.
No, you weren't in the market for that?
Not really.
Was there any action, and was there any possible action or no?
Not really, because they all pretty much had guys with them and stuff.
Right.
So.
Hogan called me drunk off his ass.
Oh, I saw him Friday night.
He was there Friday and Saturday, and he was there. I love Hogan to death. He's my best friend, what have not. But he's a Johnny-come-lately bandwagoner at its best.
What do you mean?
Because the year that the Lightning won the Stanley Cup, he started getting into it about the second round of the playoffs. Yeah. Like, brother, can you get me a box for tonight? I'm like, well, Hogan, you haven't been to any games this year. But they're winning now. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I saw him Friday night, him and Knobs and John Cena. So I was in the suite with them, and they were partying.
Yeah, they were. And so Hogan calls me up. Now, this is going to be funny. Listen to this. Hogan calls me up on Saturday. Spice, I'm at the gym. You and I saw each other.
Yeah.
And he's like, where are you? I'm like, I'm at the gym. You're doing Legos on a Saturday? I'm like, no, chest. Bro. I'm at the ball game. Come on down. I go, what ball? Prop. I go, Hogan, it's the 5th inning. I'm not going to come on down there now. And he goes, by the way, Cena wants a key to the gym. I go, what? And he goes, Cena would like to start training at the Clem gym. I go, hey, that wouldn't be a problem at all.
I'll tell you.
Can you imagine Manson going in there all of a sudden you see John Cena supersetting chest?
That'd be crazy.
It'd be kind of cool, wouldn't it?
Cena is thick, man.
He's thick, and let me tell you something about John Cena. Let me tell you something about John Cena. Not only is he thick, he's genuinely a great, great, great guy. I have never, ever heard a bad word about that guy. He is a class act, man.
I got to agree with
guy.
you. I got to agree with you. I mean, I was sitting there talking to him for probably 10 minutes or something like that, and just chatting. Regular dude, man.
He's a regular
really
dude,
nice
man.
guy.
And I've known strangers that have stopped him in the airport, and he sat there and just befriended them and talked. You talk about a great guy, and he lives here in the area. A lot of the wrestlers live here because they got to fly out so much and use the airport so much that Tampa is like one of the most user-friendly airports in the world.
It really is.
And I don't know where he moved from. Where was he born and raised, Spice, you know?
I don't know, but first time we met him, it was up in Hartford, but I don't know where
Brent,
he was born
yeah,
and raised.
he's from Maryland. Remember when he was on our show in Hartford, we were asking where
And he was a
from.
little unknown, remember?
Yeah, he came in with Edge into the studio.
Anyway, he is living in this area, and I guess he would like to have. I guess Hogan was putting over our gym, like he works there out there every day. He's seen it 2 times. But I guess Cena Spice would like to get a key. I guess we probably should do a show, but I don't have a problem with it.
No, because he's one of those guys who would be very, very respectful of it.
Yeah, Manson, you wouldn't have a problem with it.
No, fine with me.
Manson could go give Cena some pointers. Hey, listen, you probably need to.
I realize you're pretty thick, but let me
I
tell you
realize
what
you
I
did
do.
the Hogan arm workout.
I realize you're pretty thick, buddy, but I've spent about 7 months in this gym.
You might want to try the Manson arm workout, Cena.
Look at the gains I've been getting on these tries. Anyway, Spice, get a hold of him. Let's get him in. I know that you talked to him about getting him on the show, and he said he's just been swamped, but he listens to the show, and that he's not in town much. But when he's in town, he's going to come see us.
Yeah.
At last, we finally get to see this rookie phenomenon, and that's the kid, the Steven Stamkos kid. Practice has gone well, and June's top pick next for tonight actually is the opener at the Ice Palace versus the Penguins. So this Steve Stamkos is going to be playing tonight, going to be in uniform versus the Tampa Bay Lightning. With the Tampa Bay Lightning tonight. This is like one of the most heralded kids to come out of Canada since Wayne Gretzky and Vinny LeCavalier.
He's going to be awesome.
This kid is going to be great, man. St. Louis actually came to the Lightning in 2000 and in the year 2000, and he has gone on record and said, "Man, I am excited about this kid."
I think the Lightning are in for a good year because the owners have really made a commitment to making that team better.
Yeah, they have. They really, really have. But anyway, this kid, I guess it's not going to be on. I don't think it's going to be on TV tonight. I think it's on radio. But the Steve Stamkos guy, again, one of the most heralded hockey guys since Wayne Gretzky and Vinny LeCavalier.
And both of those guys
and a can't miss pick.
Oh yeah.
Coming out of Canada, makes his debut tonight at the Ice Palace. Preseason for NHL officially starts tonight. Did you see where Biffle won one?
Yeah, I saw that. Biffle won one. Tony came in 11th, and he was happy with that.
Well, yeah, he started 33rd.
Yep.
Were you listening to his in-car?
Yeah, at the end, he said, "Hey, listen, guys, everybody did a great job. This is the best we could do." Because Matty Yoakum was on Tony's channel this time, too. And Matty Yoakum was saying he hasn't finished above 30 the last 7 times he's raced at Delaware.
Dover. He does not do well at Dover.
He hasn't. And 4 times he finished, and 3 times he had DNFs. So he said 11 was a great finish for Tony.
Today on air, we're going to play Wiffle T-ball on Tom the Tree Man's head. Dave Rice is a sick bastard, our engineer, and he has rigged up this helmet with a face mask. And on the top of it, he has made looks like he took like a radiator hose and bolted it to the top of a helmet, and then that's going to be the tee that the wiffle ball sits in. Tom is going to get on his knees and be on his knees. We're going to put the wiffle ball on top of his head. We're then going to blindfold ourselves and take hacks at Tom the Tree Man's head. Wiffle T-ball on Tom the Tree Man's head today in the 9 o'clock hour. Tomorrow, Lisa Lampanelli on the phone. She's in Jacksonville at the Florida Theater on October 3rd. Not this weekend, but next. Love her. Brent, you and I have got to go get fitted this week.
I know.
For that situation. Maybe tomorrow.
Yep.
Wednesday, more topless Wii games live in studio. Spice, are we going to do different games?
Yeah. We got to figure out which games we're going to do.
Drew Lachey.
Lachey.
Yeah, Drew Lachey. That's what I call him. There's Nick Lachey and Drew Lachey.
Yeah, that Nick Lachey guy.
Yeah. What the hell is what does Drew Lachey do?
Drew Lachey,
Dancing with the Stars?
Yeah, he won the Dancing with the Stars thing, which put him over pretty big.
Wow. Well, I'm gonna tell you, all I'm gonna do
is
he's
pimping some fruit festival.
I'm just gonna ask, fruit festival. Imagine that. I'm just gonna ask him all. I'm just gonna. Hey, every question's gonna be about Nick and Jessica.
I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah. Drew Lachey. And then TNA wrestlers Booker T and Christian Cage in studio.
Well, that's tentative.
On Friday, possibly in studio on Friday. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Rock 105, Jacksonville 102.5, The Bone, Tampa, back in a minute.
Hi, this is Jamie Varner. Want to see what I threw down when I was in the Bubba the Love Sponge Show and entered the infamous Bubbagon? It's online at BubbaRod.com.
More after this on the Bubba Radio Network.
Do you want to hear all the times Hulk Hogan or Tucker Carlson called in? We have it all for you on BubbaArmyHQ.com.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Hey, 25, do me a favor. Attention. Send Tom. Can you guys hear me out there? Send Tom, I'm Awesome Tree Man to CVS. Or you go, one of the two. And buy a digital thermometer. Not rectal. Well, I guess they don't really make specifically rectal ones, do they?
Not really. I thought it was just the one. I think they do.
Buy me,
you do like an either-or kind of deal.
Just buy me a digital thermometer, because I sit back here every day and complain about how hot I am. I want to actually take my temperature.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Where?
I'm not sick. In my mouth. Okay. I'm not sick. I know that. But I sit back here sometimes and just get like right now I'm starting to cool down a little bit. But like during the commercials, I was like literally uncomfortably on fire. And I can give you what I think it is. I think for the first time in a long time, I've worn a shirt that's got sleeves on it.
That's what it is.
I mean, I know
the sleeves are really burning you up. Huh?
I know that you guys probably think that sounds stupid, but I'm on fire right now. Not necessarily on how good my show is, but like physically, and not physically as in like I'm on fire, like my body is a wonderland, but like I'm on fire, like temperature-wise. You guys all have sweatshirts on.
Yeah,
I can't take enough off right now. Some emails. By the way, I have to get into. I got a ton of emails and a ton of people wanting to hear the MJ Casey the Bird bit. In fact, Laura J. O'Connell's wife. We were having dinner with him on Saturday, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's the funniest thing ever." About MJ and his bird Casey. Which I hope that you enjoy that bird, MJ, because it's going to be it's only a matter of time before it gets taken away. You can just keep spending your money. Keep spending your money, my friend, because I'm spending mine and you're spending yours. Anybody see Entourage last night?
I missed it. I was asleep already by then.
It was great. They got Vincent Chase doing 200. He's so hurting for money, Brent, that he has to go do Sweet 16 birthday parties. And he was going to make $200,000 for the Sweet 16th birthday party. He had to sing like one song to the girl, right? And Johnny Drama, his brother, gets all effed up and decides to go out there and do a duet with Vincent Chase, and then pukes into the cake. And they stiff Vinny Chase on the money because his Jewish accountant called him earlier that week and said, "You're going to have to file bankruptcy because you have no money." Oh, it's the best. Is anybody Entourage fans except just Brent and I? Manson,
are you kidding me? I watch it every week. But I went to sleep early, but now I guess I don't really need to watch it because you just told me what happened.
Stop. TiVo it. Some emails here. Just registered for your site. Where is Manson's and where's Ned's picks? I want to see Ned now. This comes from a girl calls herself the Georgia Peach Becky. Love your show. I'm new to the area here in Jacksonville. I wasn't around when you weren't around when I first moved here in July of 2007. I was stuck with MJ and then Lex and Terry because I didn't know any better. I thought Jacksonville area radio market sucked. When you returned, I had never heard of you, but now I understand the big hoopla. I love you guys. Thanks for giving us an awesome morning show. You're Georgia Peach, Becky. Thank you, Becky. Oh, God, I haven't laughed so hard in a while. Cheers to Manson and his most recent Casey the Bird MJ bid. Manson really makes your show. In my opinion, he is the most I got a printing. He's the most something.
Queer.
No.
No. That's
He's
no
the most
reason
queer.
for that.
He's the most queer. Ned, what's on your mind? I'm stuck here.
I'm trying to help you
blah,
out.
blah, blah, and Manson is the most, and then...
Just trying to help.
Yeah, thanks for the help, Manson.
Yeah, thanks a lot for the burial.
I've heard this before. If you weren't... if it weren't for the comedic elements that Manson and Ed bring to your show, I think you'd have a hard time being top 5. Oh, thanks, Ray. I would have to agree. I think if there's any missing piece of our puzzle, I think we'd all... Jay O'Connell said it best on Saturday night. You guys have chemistry that cannot be taught.
Yep.
Yeah.
Seriously. Is it possible to start a class action suit against Todd Schnitt for submitting frivolous lawsuits and wasting the taxpayers' dollars? I don't know if you can or do that or not. Can you? I mean, because it's all civil.
I don't think you can because
unfortunately, that's part of what we should have tort reform for.
Yeah, because the court system wants his money.
They should say, 3 frivolous deals in a lifetime and you're officially out. I was wondering where I can find streaming live video from your show. The first time I came to your website, it was on, and now I can't find the link. Thanks for keeping me and my company entertained. We don't do live stuff very often. Occasionally, we'll do a live BTLS feed, but for the most part, all the stuff is archived at BubbaRaw.com, and we're getting ready to do a whole bunch of more stuff with there, including the Clim Gym live feed. And then possibly podcasting there, Brent Spice, at the first of the year, where you can go to BTLS. I'm sorry, you can go to BubbaRaw.com, and if you're a member, of BubbaRaw.com, then you can get any podcast you want of the show for free. And then if you want to buy it, and if you're not a member of BubbaRaw.com, then you can go to BTLS.com and buy it for 99 cents. And we're looking to do that by the first of the year. This email is by Colleen Slater, and it's quite lengthy, so please bear with me. First, let me apologize for coming in late on this MJ lawsuit issue, but I caught part of this show this morning, right before you decided to cancel Pauly Shore. I was hearing that MJ is suing you for defamation. So I went to the 1025 The Bone website and read part of the lawsuit. This confuses me because I remember back in the day when MJ came to town, and they had the MJ, BJ, OJ billboards, making fun of a person in the limelight. Also, MJ used to badmouth Mason Dixon constantly. Well, you have to understand MJ's thinking back then. Mason Dixon was on top of the world back in 1994. And MJ, basically came in and wanted Mason to start talking about him because Spice, prior to the MJ, BJ, OJ phenomenon, which catapulted them to number 1, Clear Channel was fixing to get rid of MJ. Because they were not doing it. It took 3 years before him to get any type of ratings at all.
Yeah.
Over there.
And then that billboard came along and shot him up.
OJ gotcha.
One of the main things that I keep remember him saying was Mason Dixon was a stuttering buffoon. And that he's too old. Well, he's right. And he's too old to be on the radio anymore. And that he'd outlived his radio career. And he needed to be on radio like the radio station like the Dove. Also, being from Tampa Bay for 40-some years, I have listened to a ton of radio personalities battle it out in so-called radio wars, and I can never remember anybody suing anybody over it. As a matter of fact, why don't you pull old J-Core and Clear Channel tapes and see all the fun that they've made over people over the years? When your old guy who used to be president, who I can't remember his name, well, the guy's name's Randy Michaels, and he's not that old, but he's a radio genius. Which, by the way, for those people scoring at home over there at Clear Channel, I will go ahead and solidify what you guys have all speculated, I guess, in the building this week, Brent. The big hubbub is that Randy Michaels is representing us. Well, that's kind of right and it's kind of not right. He's co-representing us. He is helping Tom Bean, our agent, quite nicely, and we have a whole bunch of people we're talking to starting October 31st when we can about rolling the syndication out. Lex and Terry should be afraid, really afraid, because Dallas is one of the places our agents are flying to. So I guess, Spice, the hubbub in the Clear Channel building yesterday was that Randy Michael is representing us. Well, he is.
There you have it.
So there you go. I'm fine. He needed to hang up, blah, 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 blah. I remember all this because at that time I was a Mason-Dixon fan, as a lot of people in Tampa Bay were, because I'm not now, but because I believe in karma. I thought to myself, God, be careful, MJ. You won't be young forever, and somebody will knock you off your shrine. Well, now I don't understand how he can call Mason-Dixon old and attack him personally for having stuttering issues. Well, you probably shouldn't be a stutterer and be on the radio, but anyway. If I remember correctly, Mason-Dixon did lose his job with the radio station at the time, which I think was 95.7, and then later he got the Q105 gig. Did Mason-Dixon ever sue him for defamation? Did anybody in the old Power Pig Q10... Obviously, this is a radio person here. Did anybody in the old Q105 Power Pig days sue each other? If I remember right, that got downright nasty, including calling people that were not public figures, but managers of the product names. I will have to agree.
Oh, of course it did.
I don't remember if any of that ever happened. I do remember Mason-Dixon being sued by one of his old employees for sexual harassment or something like that. I don't think it was sexual harassment, was it?
I don't remember sexual harassment. I don't know what it was.
I don't know how long radio stations keep records of their shows, but it'd be interesting to listen back to all MJ's old stuff and how badly he used to bash Mason-Dixon when Mason was on top and he was a little-known entity. Anyway, I just wanted to put my 2 cents in because because I too come from the day when things could just be worked out with an argument or a couple of talks. Suing is just so easy for people to do now. I believed what MJ said cost Mason-Dixon his job at the time. Well, no, probably not, but MJ poking fun at Mason obviously caused some ratings a windfall to MJ. At Mason's expense, probably on a side note. By the way, I only listened to your show because I only listened to the show because I liked BJ, and he seemed to be the rhyme of reason. I haven't listened to the MJ show since BJ left. Thank you, Colleen Slater. I'll hand this over to you, Spice, Brent, to keep. By the way, I have made contact with BJ.
How's he doing?
He's doing really good.
He's a great guy.
Great guy. And the things that MJ did to that guy. I will let you know this, MJ. I know you're freaked out by it. And you know what? MJ flew to Denver to say he was sorry to BJ. Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
When was this?
Recently.
What's up with that?
MJ flew. Well, why do you think he flew to Denver?
To keep BJ from spilling all the beans on shows like ours?
Well, now BJ told me, hey, listen, I can't help it. If you depose me, I'll have to tell the truth. But my first question to BJ when I spoke to him about 4 or 5 months ago, because I helped him get Hulk Hogan as an interview. So he owes me. Well, first of all, he doesn't owe me any favor. We're friends. He believed in me and hired me. But he did tell me I'm not going to go on the air per se and tell the stories. But if you depose me, then I will tell the truth. Well, MJ heard that I was going to maybe have BJ on the air. I guess I spilled it one day. And he had Michelle, his wife, from what I've been told. I don't know this. I don't know. I can't confirm or deny this. This is what my mole has told me, okay? That he had his wife call BJ up and say, are you really going to go on the Bubba show? I can't believe you would ever do that to my husband. Yada, 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 yada. And BJ, coming from the old school type thinking like we do, said, first of all, Michelle, Bubba and I are friends. Yes, I did talk to Bubba. But secondly, I'm not talking to you as the liaison. Have your husband call me. This is between him and I. What a little bitch MJ is. That'd be like me having Heather call Manson about an issue. So anyway, make a long story short, I guess, again, I don't know that to be true. That's what I've been told. So anyway, I guess MJ then called up BJ, and BJ said, hey, listen, you know what? We probably have a lot of things to talk about. You really threw me under the bus. You're a dick, yada, yada. And I guess MJ bought a new house out in the Colorado Aspen area for when him and his family want to go skiing. Wow.
Yes.
Can you
snow ski?
I mean,
fresh powder. Yes. If it's more than 42 inches, though, I can't see because I'm below the snow.
I mean, does he make that much money?
Yeah, he does.
that he's now buying a vacation retreat home getaways in Aspen, Colorado for his family. I mean, that's really, really, really up and beyond.
Man, he's partying.
I mean, my God.
Jam-packed with houses, like John McCain.
How many houses do you own?
I don't know. I don't even know how many houses I own.
No, MJ, do not include the doll houses that your daughter owns that you can currently walk into.
I can fit in quite nicely.
Anyway, so I guess he went when MJ was out there on a snow skiing trip. I like to see him in his little park goggles.
Nauseating.
Yeah, God. You know what? I'd actually learn skiing just so I could find out the slope that he was on and barrel roll him.
That would be funny.
Oh,
Talk about funny.
Can I tell you, man? There is one thing that I would love to do, and I would love to fight that guy. I would give any amount of money, Brent, to a charity or whatever if we could fight each other. And what he doesn't realize is, do you realize the amount of people? I mean, we could probably sell out a 5,000 to 7,000 seat venue here in town
all day
for the Bubba versus MJ like regular fight. I would give anything to fight that guy.
We could have a whole card. I could fight Froggy.
Right.
Brent could fight Fester, Spice, and Hurricane.
Yeah, there you go.
I'll fight whoever. I don't care which one it is. I'll beat the hell out of any one of them.
I'll fight one of the chicks.
Yeah. You could fight Dan DiLoretto, actually.
Yeah, he's about my size.
Oh, you'd kill him. Hey, babes, don't hit me. Hey, Ned. You know, I overlooked the drug screening for years, buddy. Please don't hit me.
I'll blast that goggled up F.
That Orville Redenbacher goggled up F. He sent word. Dan DiLoretto sent word to me.
Send word.
I'm not going to mention who it was, but Saturday I was at Jim's Harley Davidson 54-275 in the open house with Spice, and you could probably figure out, Spice, who it was. And a good friend of Jim's there stopped on by and said, "Hey, I'm supposed to tell you. I had lunch with Dan DiLoretto, and I'm supposed to tell you that he really, really hopes, he wishes you the personally." And I said, "Well, you know what? You get this message back to him."
You pass word on this.
Yeah. And I just went off. There wasn't anything pleasant to say. So anyway, I guess, Spice, I would do anything to fight that guy. Anything.
Well, I mean, look, here's the thing. It's an open challenge, and the bottom line is...
Celebrity boxing is big right now.
Yeah, and the bottom line is, look...
Put your money where your mouth is.
Well, that and you can make a lot of money for a charity. Both of you guys can come together for a good common cause and make a lot of money for a charity.
Absolutely.
Charities need it right now because they're hurting.
Oh, yeah. Charities, man, down by some accounts, 77 to 85%. I was seeing something in Newsweek yesterday.
Yep.
Anyway, MJ, Spice, can we have, or Brent, can we get a hold of the Diacos to send a register? We'd already done that, haven't we?
Yes, we have.
Can we do it one more time?
We can do it as many times as you want.
I don't believe in physical violence. Perhaps if you want to challenge me to a tabloid trivia off.
But MJ, you're the one that goes and gets guns and anti-terrorism training and, things like that.
Yeah, you went out and got all this stuff. How about we'll do one or two things that are really manly, okay? First of all, MJ, you got all these sports cars, and supposedly you go down to Sebring, and supposedly you take your Corvette Z06 and your BMW down there to Sebring and do all these road racing. So how about this?
Yes.
We'll box. We'll box. One round of the deal, and then I'll take it out to East Bay, and I'll put you in my dirt. Put you in my dirt late model.
Dirt racing is for the common folk. I prefer a 24-hour road rally.
Oh, you prefer asphalt?
In a BMW, I will take you on, challenge you that any day. A 24-hour road rally.
In a $300,000 BMW.
Exactly.
God, I can't fight that guy fast enough. So anyway, make a long story short, at Lex and Terry too, man. We'll fight you guys.
Oh, open challenge them too.
Oh, yeah,
Battle Royal.
Open challenge. And you know what? Here's it. Lex and Terry, you guys, between us three, you pick. You got Bubba, you got Brent, and you got Spice. You do the matchup. No, seriously, you do the matchup. And let's include, you, Lex, Terry, and that black guy. What's a twit?
Who knows?
It sounds right.
Yeah.
Good enough.
So you guys, it doesn't matter. You know what? Well, you guys figure out the matchup. You want Bubba to fight Twit, Spice to fit Lex, Spice to fight Lex, and Brent fighting Terry. You want Bubba versus? It doesn't matter. Those Bubba, Brent, and Spice, and then you make it up any way you want it. Go ahead and put your strongest guy who you think our weakest guy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
Terry, you can even bring your sock puppet.
Brent, like if you were to fight Terry and he came and goes, "Brent, don't hit me hard. What do you think you're doing?"
That's Spare the sock puppet.
You bald-headed bitch. Look at you. You smoked way too much pot. You're out of shape. Your last fight was 39 seconds. I'm going to kick your ass. When he had a little sock puppet going on.
I would kick his ass and spare the puppet.
Anyway, you know what? Maybe we get Boy Spice. I know Guns and Hoses sells out anyway.
I'd love to fight.
Can you imagine that was a pre?
Love to fight
Lex.
Lex.
That was the pre-deal.
Oh, that'd be so awesome.
Punch him right in his Down syndrome-looking forehead. Bastard.
Anyway, MJ, when I spoke to BJ, I kind of got so sidetracked. When I spoke to BJ, he's not going on my show. But when I depose him, he's going to tell the truth. He's got to tell the truth. And I'm going to talk about, I'm going to ask him, how you got him fired, how you went to management. Oh, wow.
Stooged him out.
Good morning. I'm writing to comment on your frivolous. Oh, this is a different one. Boy, the Tampa Bay area and the Jacksonville area, they don't like little sniveling bitches that can't fight their own battles, that stand behind the court system and just drain people. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm $107,000 into the existing Clear Channel lawsuit they have against me. Cox is 6 figures into the MJ lawsuit versus me. And in actuality, I've not done anything wrong. And they think, and I've been told by my Mizzhole, that they think that the more they drag this out, the more that they can get put a wedge between me and Cox Communications, and that at the end of the day, I'll get fired. Which I got to think there's probably a little chance for that.
I'm sure.
So just keep on keeping on, fellas. And you watch when I get fired this time, not for being too dirty, not for being, a shock jock that, said bad words and the FCC made an example out of me. But I got fired because you guys used and manipulated the legal system on things that I didn't do wrong. Watch how well your ratings go, MJ. They'll never forgive you for this. There's a reason why we're number one, because, people listen to our show and they like it. You sniveling little bitch. And so I was talking to Jay O'Connell on Saturday, Spice, at dinner, and he goes, the reason why I hate Clear Channel, and this is about as true and stripped down as you can possibly get. But this is what Clear Channel does. This is my opinion, and they're doing it to me now. Even when they're wrong, and Spice, I want everybody to listen to me and tell me, because we all came from there. They are so huge, and they have so much money, and so much legal representation, and so many lawyers on staff at all times, that even when they're wrong, they will not admit that they're wrong and settle or leave you alone. They will just continue to kick your dizzick in the dirt and grind it and churn it, trying to just make you say uncle. Even when they're absolutely wrong, they'll spend $300,000 on being wrong so that you got to spend $300,000 on being right and bankrupt yourself. That's what they do. Do you agree?
I definitely agree.
That's all they do, is they use their size and their clout and their money to kill people. Not literally, physically kill people, just to grind you into the ground so that you, as a private sector or as an individual radio personality or a small company like I own, you cannot continue the fight. You give up.
That's absolutely their MO.
And that came from Jay. Jay O'Connell's like, hey, listen, many a times Cox Communications has been wrong. And we're like, hey, listen, we could spend $150,000 and drag this guy through the mud and get the ruling that we're wrong, or we can just say, hey, you know what, buddy, let's settle this and just be done with it.
Sure.
And spend $25,000 on legal instead of $225,000. MJ currently has, or is part of, 3 lawsuits involving me. 1, Clear Channel versus me. 2, the bird caper. So, it's amazing, Spice, how he can be on the wrong side of the deal. And that is, he's had a bird, a wild African gray, housed at 4002 Gandy for 14 years. A domesticated, an animal that you're supposed to have at your house. In any business, whether it's Tiger Lily Florist, or whether it's Clearwater Mattress Spice that you worked out, or whether it's your father's pest control business, Brent, whether it's here, the Bubba Radio Network studios, Clear Channel, Cox. See, it doesn't matter. I've never known of a legitimate business that's on commercial property that has an animal there. Now, I know that like some body shops and stuff like that will have some Rottweilers and things like that, dogs. But I've never known of a commercial property that, will have an African gray there for 14 years and would think that that would be a good thing.
No, especially not a company that big with that many employees.
400 people in and out of those doors. So even though he's wrong on that, Spice, he's going to continue to grind. And the poor guy Ziggy, the guy who rescues birds for a life, who's like now guilty by association. Now he had to retain an attorney.
Yeah, that sucks right there.
Oh, and then finally, by the way, Tom from Tampa, I'll get to you next. And then finally, I get a call from Jay O'Connell, worldwide leader of Florida, on Friday. Guess what they're asking for now? You want to hear this? This is the keeper. This is what I meant to get at. God, I'm shot out of a cannon today. I wish Jay would have sent it to me. If he's listening, please forward it to Brent or me ASAP. They've now officially requested that I pay for MJ's legal fees. Did you know that?
Oh, yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah, I've seen it.
So, Manson, can you believe it? This guy is suing me.
Oh, I can't believe it.
For defamation of character and slander because he says what I've said has slandered him. Basically calling him names. Short, pubic hair, narcissistic, stealing money. He's a creep. And so he files against me, and now he's petitioned the court now that I pay his legal fees.
And I don't like to spend money.
And I've actually looked at the Florida state statute where you can ask for legal fees. We're the ones that are in position to ask for legal fees. He's not even. His lawyers are out of their minds. They're not even in position to ask for legal fees. We're the ones in position to ask for legal fees.
And then on the hypocritical typical MO of MJ Kelly, he sues me, and now he's asking for me to pay his legal fees. And his attorney gets a DUI. I have audio experts of this little F. Saying he'll fire anybody that ever is with him that gets a DUI. And his lawyer gets a DUI, and it's no bubbles, no troubles, looks the other way. By the way, I heard that Phil Campbell supposedly or allegedly is in rehab. Tom from Tampa. Hi, buddy.
Hey, guys. How you doing?
Good.
So, well, you guys just basically covered what I was going to say about the whole legal fee. So I know we're being sued right now by a rental company for equipment, saying that we didn't return it, but we got all the documentation. So our lawyer filed I thought it was like a 5209, some weird number statute saying that
it's 57.
If their lawyer, if the courts prove that their lawyer even knows about there was something up in cahoots and all that you guys got everything back, and then the lawyer also gets in trouble.
Well, let's not forget this now. Let's not forget about another strange twist of fate. If we're going to really get into this MJ deal, him suing me, his attorney, Phil Campbell, represented me as early as 1997. He represented me on a couple different cases and represented Brent as late as 2002 when we were up for the. So he's using the same attorney that Brent and I have used for years, and we tried to get that guy disqualified, and we didn't get the ruling on that. But I mean, this thing's mind-boggling as to how corrupt this is, and how Brent, I feel as if thank you, Tom, is that I'm on the train tracks again.
Yep.
I'm on the Mark Ober, Hillsborough County 13th Judicial Circuit Court train tracks, and I'm fixing to get railroaded again.
Yes. That's why I've got some questions.
I told Jay O'Connell, man, I'm telling you right now, you guys don't believe me. Maybe you'll believe in me. Maybe you'll believe me when we get our ass kicked on this lawsuit. But I can't get a fair trial in Hillsborough County. I just can't.
That's why I was asking about a chiz of his with the other attorneys.
Spice, what would you as much as people think that I'm full of myself and that I'm this conspiracy theory nut job, would you not agree that just based on my history and based on my reputation and based on what things that have happened to me, I can't get a fair trial or a ruling or a motion or anything in Hillsborough County?
Yeah, I would agree, and part of that is due to MJ's wife.
Yeah,
in my opinion. I mean
she worked for the
state attorney. She worked there. I mean,
nobody wants to listen to me on the deal. Nobody wants to listen to me. Noelle, Jacksonville, hi. Now.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Now I'm cold. My nipples are hard. Hi, Noelle.
Wow.
Hi, baby. How are you?
Good morning. The reason I'm calling is the reason this MJ thing is driving me nuts and Clear Channel spending all this money on this frivolous case is that when they made that transition, Clear Channel from the big corporation to I don't know if they're privately owned now or what the deal with that is.
Yeah, they are.
They are.
It just went down.
Yeah, it hasn't fully taken over yet, but they're privately owned.
Yeah.
I know people and know of people who were fired because the budget was slashed like incredibly over there, And it frustrates me because of the amount of money that they're spending on this lawsuit. They probably, I know that all the accounts are different, but they probably could have kept 5 of those people.
Oh, yeah. You know what? You're right. I'll tell you right now that they're about $250,000 into this deal. So, yeah, I mean, if you take an average employee.
Well, and they could have kept 15 of them.
I mean, yeah. I mean, it's really disheartening, man, especially when you're on my side of the fence. I'm not a huge corporation, very, very little. And it's really wearing me thin. It's really, really causing some problems here. And it's bringing me down. And I may have to start, letting people go because I have to pay, I have to defend. I'm so far into it now, I can't look back. I got to keep defending it.
You're already driving a Daewoo.
Yeah, I'm already driving a Daewoo.
How much can you cut back now?
I appreciate your call. Thank you. Bubba, you were right on for jumping on those kids' asses for not showing respect during a national anthem at the go-kart track. You not only had the right, but it was a duty as an adult and you as an American. And just to let you know, it sucks that Pauly Shore couldn't even come on your show. But he had no problem being on the MJ show. Love your show. Listening at Rock 105 Jacksonville. Jeff. Thank you, Jeff. Spice, any backside ramifications, emails, and or texts with regard to that situation?
Just Pauly Shore apologizing.
Bubba, I love your morning show. You have assembled a great cast. My question is, I deliver to restaurants in the Tampa Bay area. I mentioned Linda Hogan I mentioned Linda Hogan at one of them, and her expenses were in the news. This particular guy claims that he worked for her, and she's always effed up.
Speaking of that, Lummox saw her this weekend.
Oh, he did?
Yeah, out at the Clearwater Hilton. He's got some good stuff, too.
Lummox, you're on deck. Don't go anywhere. Hello. On Friday, 9/19, Miller sponsored a suite for the Rays game for a contest for your winners from your show. Spice Boy was there, and there were pictures taken. I'm curious as to when those pictures will be on your website. Thank you, Jessica. Well, Jesus, Jessica, it's only Monday. I would say probably today or tomorrow. Spice, were there pictures taken for the what have not?
Yeah, there was. We'll see what we can do.
Good morning. I'm writing to throw my opinion on this whole political issue. I'm a 24-year-old and don't pay a lot of attention to politics, but considering that I spend a lot of time in the morning listening to your show and the evenings watching the news, I can't get away from it. So here's my theory. The people like you and I, the average Joes, are the ones to blame. We got greedy. There's no beating around the bush or sugarcoating it. The banks were doing okay, and we got greedy, started getting loans for money and property that we simply could not afford and were not in our price range. The local governments, city and counties, saw that they could make more money from property taxes. With that being said, everybody went full circle, and now it's bit us in the ass because now the average Joes can't afford taxes on their properties, started to the foreclosure process, and now even filed bankruptcies. How many people filed bankruptcy? People not blah, blah, blah. Sir, yeah, I would say that was probably a lot of it, in the fact that for some reason we've deragged the SEC and we've deragged the SEC. So now all these CEOs and short sales, and I mean, the Wall Street has just gone to shiz. It's amazing because it all came from these congressmen and these senators 3, 4, 5 years ago passing all these deregs. And everybody, Republicans and Democrats, are to blame for allowing this to happen.
All of it. Every one of them.
And you can get these huge brokerage firms and these huge mutual fund places that go in and buy short on something,
and then drive the price down.
Well, and then press release it through hey, this particular company really sucks. It goes down $1. They bought the short sale, and it's just Meanwhile, that company's destroyed when really that company's not that bad off.
That's right.
That's the first thing. The second thing, we dereg. I don't know if we dereg the loan process or we deregged the banking industry. But, these arms and these balloons and these interest onlys and these refis and all this stuff when the housing boom was going crazy. Like Manson said, you got a guy making $45,000 buying a $400,000 home.
Yeah.
Paying interest only for 4 years.
A lot of that has to do with Alan Greenspan when he was the chairman of the Fed, driving down the interest rate so low that the banks were looking just to hand out loans.
And then finally, and in my opinion, and again, this is not a partisan type deal, Republicans are just as much to blame as Democrats are when it comes to the dereg of Wall Street and then the housing market. And then, I don't know who's to blame about this, but, the 10 to 12 billion a month that we're spending in Iraq for nothing. Those three things.
I know who's to blame for that. Well, I got that.
Yeah, you're right. But, those three things right now has caused us just to be, God, by all accounts, in the worst position this country has been in since the 1932 Great Depression.
Yeah, we're on the same footing, and people don't realize it.
They said this could potentially cost $1 trillion for all this bailout, and then they're telling you what $1 trillion is because people are jaded.
No, yeah, well,
and
including our president.
If you stacked $1 trillion $100 bills up in the straight into the air, the space station would orbit into the bottom half of it.
Oh my God!
I mean, can you fathom that?
$100 bills stacked
miles into space.
And I was watching as
About
I was
$1 trillion dollars.
as I was watching 60 Minutes last night. This is not pro McCain and it's not pro Obama. It's not anti McCain and it's not anti Obama. It's just a statement. But I really feel sorry, and I'm sure you will agree. I feel so sorry for the next person that takes over the president of the United States.
Yep.
Whether it's Barack Obama or whether it's John McCain.
They're screwed either one, I believe.
They are screwed. You guys have inherited. I mean, oh my God, I feel so sorry because no matter what type of good intentions either one of those guys have,
doesn't matter.
I don't necessarily know.
Doesn't matter.
You can't dig yourself out of that kind of debt.
No, not just that debt. It's just the problems have mounted so big,
and the other
that
thing
nobody can fix it.
The other thing that I'm really, really, really upset about is how us as Americans need tax breaks. Now, again, and I'd like to hear your comments. Please talk to me about this. Call me 1-888-69-BUBBA. After this, I got to go into commercials. I'm running late, but listen, hear me out and see if you guys agree with me. It's like the candidate that panders to the masses about cutting their taxes is the one that usually wins. Whereas we don't need to be cutting taxes because if every candidate promised to cut taxes, eventually we would have no tax. If McCain promises to cut tax this time and then the next guy takes over 4 years from now, he cuts taxes and the next guy cuts tax. I mean, we have to be taxed in order for our government to run, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I got two ways you could raise more money.
But hold on. Yeah, I do too. But I'm just saying, it's like everybody's worried about tax increases and tax cuts. Why don't we stop worrying about that, whether it's Republican or a Democratic issue, and who's doing what, and who's making, McCain calls for this, Barack Obama calls for that. This particular subsection of Americans will not be taxed, and this one will. These people will get breaks. These next people won't. Why don't we say, you know what? At the end of the day, what does that really affect your life? If your taxes stay the same or get lowered a little or get raised a little, it shouldn't matter on who you vote for because at the end of the day, man, it's all a wash. If they cut your income tax, then they're going to raise your property and so forth and so on. So they should just take taxes out of the deal. They should just take, it's a non-issue. We're not going to talk about what you're going to do tax-wise. Stop as Americans being enamored with who's going to raise or lower taxes and start looking at other things. But this is this has become like a political hot button where you can get a ton of mileage, and both of them are lying. Both of them are lying through their teeth. I mean, seriously. Barack's lying if he says only 95% of the people will not be affected, and McCain's lying if he's saying he's actually going to lower your taxes. They're both lying.
You can't lower taxes when you're spending this many billions and trillions of dollars.
I mean, it's like being a fat ass. All right. Do you continue to get on? Do you get on a diet today and start whittling it down through hard work? You just can't have magic pills or magics whatever and start losing weight. You got to buckle. You got to roll your sleeves up. You got to buckle down. You got to eat less and you got to exercise. Well, with the druthers that our country is in, we're going to have to roll our sleeve. We need to go on a diet. And it doesn't happen overnight, and it's going to be a lot of hard work, and we're going to have to roll our sleeves up, and we're going to have to start whittling this thing down. And being enamored by the candidate that's going to cut taxes is just simply not going to work.
I don't think until Americans are almost starving, we're going to be willing to do that.
Yeah.
We're not willing to sacrifice and work, that way. We want to hear, just lower our taxes. We want to hear, American Idol.
God, screw the lower. Just get to, make an educated decision, on the other things that really matter. and I'm not going to give you what those hot spots are. I can't tell you what matters to you.
I think the fair tax would.
But nobody is going to fix the economy at all based on lowering or raising taxes by a few points. You're looking at if your taxes get lowered, they're going to get lowered by a couple points. If your taxes get raised, they're going to get raised by a couple of points. It's fairly pretty much a wash.
And it doesn't matter who the next president is. You, your mother, my brother, or some other sucker. Is nobody's going to be able to fix these problems. It just doesn't matter.
And I feel sorry for, McCain if he gets in, because then it's going to be, see, I told you so. The Republicans are a bunch of asswipes. He had inherited George Bush's turd, and he's continued it on. If Barack Obama, which I feel sorry for McCain, he's probably a pretty good guy and would be a pretty good president if he didn't have to inherit the worst state of our country known to man.
Yeah, he'll be dead in 2 years. He'll have a stroke.
Secondly, I feel sorry for Barack Obama. He's going to get in, not be able to do anything. And they're going to be, see, I told you so. Some stupid black guy from Illinois that has no experience couldn't get it done.
Yep.
And so I really feel bad because our country is so broken right now.
Let's go to the fair tax and let's legalize marijuana. There's more revenue right there.
Yeah. Tony from Brandon, hi.
Hey, guys, what's going on?
Good, buddy.
It doesn't really matter who gets in. It doesn't matter if there's taxes or no taxes. The bottom line is the government can print as much money as they want. They can borrow as much money as they want off the Federal Reserve. And until we stop that and go back to the gold standard where our dollar's actually worth something, it's never going to get better.
Tony,
it doesn't matter who gets it.
I would agree with that.
You're exactly right. And Tony, more importantly, that requires a huge change in how we're doing business. And neither candidate has said that. And what they really need to do, Tony, is we need to stop the way we're thinking now because we're broken. Lower taxes here, raise taxes there. You're still involving, the IRS. You need to get rid of the IRS altogether. We need to 100% throw out this broken playbook. We need to go from the West Coast from the run and shoot to something different, to the wishbone. We need to go completely opposite.
I'll tell you what else.
Go ahead.
We need to get rid of this whole history of bailing out the banks. Why are we bailing out the banks? If AIG was a simple business to run, Fannie and Freddie were a simple business to run. They were borrowing money from the federal government at a third of the rates anybody else could get and loaning it out to banks, and they couldn't run that business. Let these businesses fail.
Yeah,
let
exactly.
Them fail and let the free market.
Yes.
Right.
That's capitalism.
But we don't do that.
For some reason, people underestimate the value of a free market.
Tony, thank you so very much.
Well, because as soon as
and the bottom line is, let these places fail.
Yep.
Let some baron come in and scoop up this company for pennies on the dollar, and revive it and put some new energy into AIG, Freddie Mac, and Fannie Mae. And these corporate raiders, let them come in and fix it. But we need to completely throw out the playbook that we've known now since the who was the president that did the IRS?
Woodrow Wilson.
Woodrow Wilson. Since the 1919?
1913, yeah.
We need to throw it out because it ain't working. Absolutely throw it out, and we need to go to a fair or flat tax type of deal where every durable good, and I think the price that has been thrown around is like 23%.
Yep. Fairtax.org.
Everything that fairtax.org. You know what? Before you bitch and moan about it, and it's not a Democratic or Republican issue, it is a we're broken. Our country is broken issue. We have got to do something different than what we're doing now. Go to fairtax.org and read up on yourself. Every durable good you buy, every piece of paper you buy, every microphone you buy, every gallon of gas you buy, every kilowatt of power that you purchase, every school lunch box that you buy for your kid, pair of shoes, cigarettes, alcohol, everything is increased by 20-some%. 3. Then the burden of collection is now on the businesses of our country, which is there's 80% less of them than there are people. And you get all of your paycheck. If you make $1,000 less your Social Security and your health care, you keep it all, which will stimulate the economy because you're gonna have $200, $300, $400 extra dollars. If you make $1,000 and you're in the 28% tax bracket, it's $280 that you're gonna have extra. How many more things are you gonna go out and buy? Albeit those things are taxed a little bit more. They'll be 23% more than you're regularly paying. But you know what? You're going to buy more because you have more.
Absolutely. It works out great.
But we are so broken and so screwed in this bailout situation.
If a business is too big to fail, then it's too big to exist.
It's just we're in such a bad spot right now, and it just God, and I'm afraid. I've not heard McCain talk about the fair tax, and I've not heard Barack Obama. They're tweaking the existing system.
Yep, neither are for that. So.
Both are.
Yep,
they're both tweaking the existing system, and quite frankly, I don't think it's going to work.
No way.
Disgusted at the deal. I'm way late, Spice, like later than late.
I know.
Lummox, I got you on deck. I got one more email to read. I got a bunch of phone calls. Joe, Dennis, Shane, Ryan, and Ed. 3 from Jax, 2 from Tampa. Lummox, emails, daily audio. I'm behind. Bear with me.
For those scoring at home, that heat you just experienced was work, not a shoot. Or did they work themselves into a shoot? What the? Confused? So are we. More after this on the Bubba Radio Network.
Do you want to hear all the times Hulk Hogan or Tucker Carlson called in? We have it all for you on BubbaArmyHQ.com.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
One last email. By the way, the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Rock 105, Jacksonville. Congratulations to the Jacksonville Jaguars. Had a great game yesterday with a big 50-some yarder with Scobie.
What a game.
What a game, man. And
God,
boy,
that was a battle.
minute 7, man, to drive, 50, 60-some yards. That last pass to on the right flat was the one that got him. Good job, guys. And, of course, congratulations to the Buccaneers. Man. Real good game, man. Never giving up. Greasy throws 3 picks. Chucky realizes that the running game is not going to work. They pass nearly 60 times. Do what they got to do to get in the right position to take it into OT, and then boom, win it. Congratulations. Wow. I'm writing a comment on your frivolous lawsuit concerning MJ that has been filed against you. And to vent about mine. By the way, I got Joe, Dennis, Shane, Ryan, Ed. Do not go anywhere. I got all you guys on deck. Please be patient. Thanks. I'm a 27-year-old female who is being sued by my ex-boyfriend for almost 3 years now. This thing has continued to go on. It's always a pathetic little bastard suing for something they don't deserve, much like what's happening to you. To make my long story short, I purchased a condo in 2006 and let my ex-boyfriend then move in with me at the time. After about 3 months of living together, it was just not working out, so I asked him to leave and gave him 30 days notice to move out. Needless to say, it was nearly 90-some days that went by before he still would not move out. Finally, my father came over and got him to leave, probably in like a Coco-type, Craig the Bulldog type fashion.
Right. By force.
Remind me to tell you I don't know if you ever know about this story about Coco making a girl leave my house one time.
Oh, yeah, I know.
No, he's done it on 2 occasions. You know about the nanny, but you don't know about the other girl that I flew in one time, do you?
I don't know.
I'll tell you. Just remind me here soon to tell you about the Coco strong arm deal, okay? Here we go. Finally, my father came over in a Coco-type, Craig the Bulldog-type fashion. It was September 11th of 2006. On October 19th of 2006, which happened to be my 26th birthday, I was served with a lawsuit. It's so nice of my ex to make every attempt to have me served on my birthday, and it worked. Last year on my birthday again, my ex placed a lien on my property. My ex is suing me for half of the equity of my condo. He wants me to do a forced sale on my property and split the profit. Well, his attorney has cleared in all of his, have done this all on his behalf. His attorney is obviously a complete idiot concerning the housing market and the diminished values of property right now. I, in turn, had to hire an attorney to represent myself and protect my property back in 2006. By the way, the condo and everything to do with the property is and has always been in my name. My ex claims that we were business partner and has gone as far as to claim common law marriage. We dated for just less than a year.
You're not going to get anywhere there.
It's ridiculous. Well, you're right. The guy is not going to win, but this woman has to now file. I mean, has to retain an attorney.
Yeah, he's made it a real pain in the ass.
Right. Yep.
It's ridiculous. It just goes to show you that anybody can sue anybody for anything, and the courts will take it. Clearly, your issue is on a different matter. and a different scale than mine, as I have not paid hundreds of thousands of dollars to defend myself like you have. But anyway, this is still a lot of money to me, and I'm on the right side of the law, just like you, Bubba. Anyways, I appreciate your opinions regarding frivolous lawsuits. Some people may think that they don't like you to talk about that on the air. I like to hear the ins and the outs as to what this little dick across the street is doing to you. Before you came, I would listen to him occasionally. Now that his name alone uttered makes me want to vomit, because he represents what's wrong with society.
He really does.
Sitting on top of the mountain, casting judgment upon others, ready to sue you if you don't agree. Well, wow, that's a pretty good analogy from you, Allie. Woman's name is Allie. I've never been an MJ fan, and this lawsuit even makes me more sick at my stomach, and that he's the big douchebag. Thank you for giving me a great ride to work every morning while listening to your show, and thanks for letting me vent. I'm glad you're back. Man, what a little pussy Spice. He was dating her for a year, lived with her for 30 days, and now you know what, Brent? I often think, man, that we just need a new title, a new government agency, because God forbid we like to start new ones of those
all the time. Started a new one last week,
right? That you have to go to the I like to call it the common sense judge, but you have to go to like the round one judge, and everything has to get filed to round one judge, and he has the power to say, yes, this is continuing on, or no, it's not done.
And it should cost you something just to get in front of that judge.
Yeah, something like that.
Just for him to say, nope, get out of here.
Just I call it the common sense judge. Everything goes to the common sense judge first, and then he chucks it to the weeds or takes it. Dennis from Tampa, go ahead.
Hey, Bubba, what's up?
Hey, buddy.
I just have a quick comment before I get into what I'm talking about. It's really a shame that clown doesn't have any talent to get involved with an old-fashioned sort of like Radio Wars competition with you, or just a little entertainment for the people in both communities, because he has no talent to do that. So he hides behind his corporation and his lawyers. And that's what's really sad, because the guy has no talent. He has to hide behind some lawyer's skirt, the corporation's billions of dollars. But be that as may, and Brent, I hope you back me up on this. This whole banking crisis, these banks, which no one had a gun to their head to make the loans to the poor, schlemiels out there that took all these loans that were bad. They knew these people couldn't keep up the payments. They knew they were going to fail. They knew they could buy them or get them back and then resell them again. Now, here's the real irony in it, Bubba. We, the taxpayers, including those hundreds of thousands of millions who have been kicked to the curb by these banks, are now being asked through our tax money and their tax money also to bail those a-holes out. That's ironic.
What are you going to do about it, buddy?
And it's sad.
It is sad. It is sad. It's terrible. And if a business is too big to fail, it's too big,
and that's
big
a
to
problem
exist.
with having businesses like that backed by the government, because they can do whatever they want.
Sir, I agree with you 100%.
And rape and pillage.
Yep.
And then get bailed out.
Loan right out of the St. Pete Times today. Loan bailout could cost America $1 trillion. It could single-handedly be the largest thing we've ever had to pay for. The war in Iraq right now is just a little over $400 billion, and our debt is currently about $407 billion, putting this project at nearly $1 trillion. Lawmakers are told to get on board now or risk economic disaster.
Like being $1 trillion in debt is an economic disaster.
Of course it is. That's the best case scenario.
You better get on board now, because it's not too late, apparently.
The Bush administration proposed a historic $500 billion bailout.
There's that B word.
But this isn't even including the $183 billion they cash infused into the market last week.
I feel so sorry for John McCain and Barack Obama, because you know what? Barack Obama could end up being the best man ever to take the Oval Office with some fresh ideas, and he will fail. And John McCain could be one of the better old-timers to come in as a vested senator for 20-some years, a war hero, and come in, and he still is just like whomever is not going to be able to make a difference.
Yeah, I mean, why would you even want to be president right
That's
now?
what I'm saying.
You got to be insane.
I'd be like one of those guys that says, you know what? When they ask for volunteers in the military and everybody takes a step back. If I was running for president, I'd be one of the guys taking a step back, saying, "Listen,
I want to go to Las Vegas with George W. Bush. A billion on 000. A billion on 000, and a billion on black too. Let's let it ride."
Manson McCain, it's not, wouldn't it be so funny if McCain come and say, you know what, I've done a lot of thinking and I'm out of here. This sucks.
I'm just going to go to the nursing home and eat some applesauce. I don't need this.
See, and he's not this way, but if I were Ron Paul, I'd be a real ball-busting dick and say, listen, I told you so.
Yeah.
I'm not up. See, he's not on the ticket, so he can go, I told you so. Me.
Congress this week will be handed a $700 billion bailout plan. Democrats promised to approve legislation quickly, but want to help want to help homeowners. How much is $700 billion? Here, I'll tell you. They give it to you. Ready? It represents more than $2,000 for every man, woman, and child in the United States of America. It's more than the gross domestic products, sum of all goods and services provided a year of Argentina and Chile combined. It's roughly 70% of the gross national product of Canada in the entire country.
Oh.
It's roughly what the Pentagon expects to spend the fiscal year that ends September 30th, including the costs and campaigns of all military excursions in Iraq and Afghanistan, according to the Center of Arms Control. It's $30 billion more than the United States spent on the war of Vietnam. It's 100 times what the federal government is spending a year on the Head Start program, helping just over 1 million school-age children from poor families. And it's 40 times more than NASA will spend this fiscal year. Well, I, as President Bubba Clem would say, you could completely pay for this bailout plan if you, one, eliminate NASA.
Well, you're talking about millions there.
Well, hold on, I'm not done, bitch. One, eliminate NASA. Two, tomorrow at high noon, have every man and woman that's currently in Iraq pulled out.
Now we're talking.
Three, shut down 350, roughly half of all military bases around the world, and bring those men home. I mean, I think that we'd have a windfall. I think we could pay off our debt to China and pay for this bailout plan, and then Brent come up with a fair or flat tax type of deal on durable goods and abolish the IRS in its entirety.
That would really help.
But see, that is so American. Whether it's McCain saying that or whether it's Barack Obama saying that, that is just too much information for our narrowly minded minion Americans of our country. They're like, well, even though you could, I don't think they could ingest all that.
They couldn't absorb it.
I mean, it's just. Let me ask you a question, Brent. I was watching. I know I'm being very political today, but I think I'm being middle of the road. I think that they're both screwed. I don't care who you vote for.
It's good. Yeah, it's not going to matter.
Yeah,
it really isn't.
Let me ask you a question. And I'm not a very smart man at all. I really am not. I flunked out of Indiana State University. I attempted 115 hours, passed like 40. I think I got some good street smarts and some good business savvy, and I certainly know radio. And I've surrounded myself around some wonderful people like you, and we've all come together every day. We do a great little something. But, I'm not very well read, and, I'm just kind of a guy's guy. I could tell you what my valve clearance on my race car was, and I could tell you how to hand lap a valve, but I couldn't tell you, some of the cool stuff that you guys know. I couldn't tell you any of that history stuff or anything like that.
Fag stuff.
Yeah, fag stuff. Anyway, I forget what I was watching over the weekend, and they were talking about this big thing in Pakistan. Was it Pakistan that the Marriott Hotel got bombed?
Yeah.
And they're looking at 50 or 60 deaths now, and it was a truck that was loaded with explosive that ran into the place. And the reason why it was done is because the Taliban figured out that that's where Americans stay, in that hotel. And you have 50 or 60 people that are dead, hundreds of injured, and that's only the people they've been able to find so far. The toll could be more. So am I right on that?
Yep. That's exactly right.
And it was a big truck that ran into the front of the lobby or side of the building. Or
suicide bomber.
Suicide bomber, and it blew up, and it caused it's a bad deal. And the Taliban or whomever, Islamic extremists or somebody is claiming
in
responsibility.
Pakistan, it's called the MMA in Pakistan.
Right, sure. And we're not talking about Rich Franklin and Randy Couture driving a bus.
No.
We're talking So anyway, so I got to thinking, and by the way, Spice, I'm going to start driving my motorcycle from Jim's a lot more because on Saturday, when I left you at Jim's, I drove around a little bit. I went over and saw Brent, and I got to, and when I get on my bike, Spice, I had like all these thoughts going through my head.
Yeah, you get time to think.
Because I don't have a cell phone. I don't have a radio. It's just me. I know this sounds real queer.
No, I'm with you 100% on this.
Ned's gonna appreciate it. It's just me and the road. It's me, my bike, and the road.
The wind through your hair.
And when I get going fast, my fat jowls start flipping around too. But anyway, so I got like a 72 mile an hour threshold where I look like less of a fat ass on my bike. So I'm driving Spice from Brent's house to the Clem Gym, and I got all these thoughts running through my head. And then I think, well, so I'm going to start riding my bike more because I had some great ideas. I'm shot out of a cannon today. I've already asked 3 things of you guys and repeated myself twice. But is it just me? Now, this is going to be like a 4th grader could come up with this, but I almost think that sometimes you have to hit people over the head with 4th grade type rhetoric in order for them to get it. Because all too often we just get way too smart. But there's probably more Americans like me who just basically tread through life kind of not really knowing a lot, but just knowing that, okay, I got to be at work at this time. I got to pay my bills on this particular day of the month. I got my family to support. We're very ritual based. In fact, I'm having a little bit of a hard time with the show today because I had my configuration of my studio equipment has been changed. So I'm a little bit out of sorts right now. I mean, I think Manson would agree. We're very ritual based.
Very.
Very much so. But Brent, it seems to me, and you and Manson and Spice, for that matter, are pretty well read what's happening over in the Middle East. But it seems to me, if God, I know this is going to sound stupid. You guys are going to yell at me. But if we would just leave these people alone in the Middle East, okay? We would just leave them alone. Like, for instance, just leave them alone and let them praise Allah and let them fight over their land and who wants to be a Serb and who wants to be a Sunni and who wants to live here and who wants to praise this person and who wants to think that they're the next coming of Muhammad and the whole 9 yards and who wants to wear flip-flop and poop in their hand and throw it at a camel and all the things that those guys do over there and practice on the monkey bars and blow themselves up and be mean to women and torture people and use bamboo shoots up there, whatever they do over there. Talking about the Middle East. Because it seems as though as a country, we don't have problems anywhere else. We don't have problems in Europe. I know there's a small little situation in Georgia, and I guess you could go back to what I'm thinking in the Middle East. Let them figure it out. Yep. If Russia wants to invade them, so be it. If Georgia wants to fight back, let them. If they don't, if they get overtook, hey, whatever.
It's on them.
On them. So, Brett, I know this is like stupid question. It's literally little Johnny raising his hand in 4th grade. But if we would just leave them alone and let them praise Allah and let them mark out to Muhammad and let them beat their women and make their women wear, they can't drive, they have 0 rights, and stop trying to liberate them and stop trying to bring our beliefs to them and make them comply to us and be westernized, would our problems, in your opinion, and everybody's in this room opinion, would it be like 85% less?
Yes.
They don't hate us for our freedoms.
No.
They hate us because we're there.
Yep.
And then we've been messing with them ever since the 50s.
And they have said that over and
so
over.
So if I'm
again.
President Bubba Clem, here's what I would say, okay? I know you guys are going to laugh at me. Attention, all forefathers of the Middle East. Anybody that's anything to do with anything. We're going to leave you alone. You do what you got to do.
Good luck to you.
Good luck to you. But here are a couple things that will piss me off that I will come invade your country. 1, Iran, get rid of your nuclear situations. If you have capabilities of launching missiles into Israel or you have capabilities of launching missiles and have nuclear warheads, I got a problem with that, and I have to come in and take care of that. 2, if you're going to attack my country and I can prove that you're part of it, I got a problem with that. AKA 911, a la 911. You leave my country alone, my people alone, and you don't develop weapons of mass destruction, I ain't got no problem with you. If you want to be a dictator, dictate. If you want to beat your women, beat them. If you want to screw a camel, so be it. I'm out of here. Peace out. T-Quest style. Peace out. No, so
it's as simple as that, really.
If the president say, I'm just going to basically be the number one enforcer of people that are developing weapons of mass destruction, and I'm going and I'm going to basically just try to keep my shores, my homeland secure against terrorist attacks. Those are the only two things that I care about. You do whatever you want to do. If you want to have a socialist type society, you want to have a capitalist, it doesn't matter. If you want to be a dictator, you want to have an election, it doesn't matter. It does not matter. You want to wear flip-flops and poop in your hand and sling it at each other? I could care less. You want to go take a backpack and go into a marketplace and blow you and 500 of your best? Fine. As long as it's not now. As soon as you start doing it to an American embassy over there, as soon as you start doing it,
I close up the American embassy and say we're out of here.
Yeah.
Who cares?
You're right. I was like,
we
we're
need
out
an
here.
embassy there.
Well, we need some embassies like in France. Couple,
Our allies. I'm talking about in the Middle East.
Yeah, we don't need embassies in the Middle East.
No.
Close them up.
Done.
If you're American going to the Middle East, you're on your own.
Now I know that that's very, very dumb, and a lot of smart people are thinking that I'm stupid. But I mean, doesn't that make sense?
Yes, it does. Let's get out of there.
And out of the 750 military establishments we have around the world, let's get some type of committee together, a bipartisan committee, and say, give me half of the most valuable places that we need to strategically be to protect us, and let's stop worrying about protecting others. Period. And let's take the 350 different places and the people that are on the personnel, and let's put them back here in America. And let's worry about what the big problem is, and that is all the stinky-ass Mexicans invading Texas and in Arizona, and coming here and taking good American jobs.
Not just that, putting a strain on the system, committing crimes, all those things that go with it.
God. Why can't somebody say that? Why do we got to be the watchdog? So, let me ask you a question. Would they leave? And then I would say, okay, the bottom line is we're going to invade your country if you're housing people like bin Laden. Period. Pakistan, you're on my script because we got reason to believe that he's in the rugged terrain area, unincorporated / ungoverned, billy goat screwing area of your ruggedest mountains. So we're gonna, I'm gonna let you know you're on notice whether your government likes it or not. What are you gonna do about it? And I'm coming in and I ain't half-assing it like the other 7 presidents before me. I'm doing it gangster style, bitch. And if I gotta blow up those mountains to find him in it, then I'll do it.
Right.
But you know what? Your mountains don't got to be blowed up if you just leave us alone and you don't harbor people that have wronged us.
Yes.
Now, is that so wrong? I'd like everybody to answer that.
No.
It's pretty easy.
But,
so where's the problem?
The problem is that everything you can trace back to power and money. We're over there, for power and money. We're not over there to, be do-gooders. Everywhere in the world we are has got an
power and
ulterior motive, everything. So you just can't do the logical, sensible thing. That doesn't work in this world.
Ed from Tampa. Hi, Ed.
Hey guys, how you doing this morning?
Good. Ryan, Brett, and John. You're next. Hurry quickly.
I just want to wonder the fact that you were talking about how we can fix the economy and all that kind of stuff. We had a country, basically Europe, when they decided to unite and basically create the euro. They decided to go to the countries that basically didn't have enough fund or enough strong economy and ask them to review their internal debt and all that kind of stuff. So at that point, the two countries that came out was Portugal and Italy. Italy was having the same issue like we're doing now, which is just printing their money and putting it in the market and thinking that's going to revive their economy. So when economists from Italy step up and said, okay, this is what we can do, and this is going to help us. First thing first, we're going to help small businesses to start importing all their assets outside the country and make them competitive with other companies. This way they can bring money back to the country, and when they bring money back, that means it's more money for us. That was one. Two, he said, well, the companies that basically do not take all their assets and everything, invest them basically like relocate all their assets outside the country. This way they can pay less taxes and all that kind of stuff. We're gonna hit them with maximum tax. Third is he turned around and looked at the government and said the government got... Hello?
Evil.
Stop calling me on the phone, you mother...
Do you want to hear all the times Hulk Hogan or Tucker Carlson called in? We have it all for you on BubbaArmyHQ.com.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Lummox in the studio. Lummox, how are you?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm good.
Let's make Lummox grow a Fu Manchu and dye it blonde.
Yeah.
Let's see if we can pass him off as Hulk Hogan.
Lummox, that's your new deal. You hear me?
Okay.
All right. You got a Linda Hogan story?
Yeah.
Tell me the story now. Don't leave anything out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't hear anybody in the...
Well, it's called a volume on your headphones, buddy. Can you hear now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That how it works.
Studio 101, man.
So I went to Clearwater Beach, the Hilton Hotel, and I was walking there, and I was going by the tiki bar, and this lady, she was blonde, and she looked bad, and so I walked over there. I was going to get a couple drinks, and it was Linda, and I was like, oh, okay. So I sat down. And
Now, did you turn into a pussy, or did you Bubba? I've told all the Bubba Army to grease her. And,
I was
so hold
waiting.
on, this old nasty cougar is standing there at the tiki bar, and it ends up being Linda Hogan. This is what, Saturday or Sunday?
Sunday. It was yesterday.
All right, go ahead.
And she was drunk. I mean, she was drinking. She had a huge glass of wine.
Yeah, that's what she usually drinks.
In a plastic cup. And I was sitting there, so I started listening, and she was like complaining about how she had to go drive all the way to the jail. I guess yesterday she went to the jail.
Yeah, well, then you know what? I can tell that you did see her definitely, because Sundays are her days at visitation, and visitation starts at 3 o'clock, so this was probably prior to that.
Yeah, I saw her, I think it was at 5:30, 6 o'clock.
So she was complaining that she had to drive to the jail to see her son?
Yeah, her friend was disgusting too. I mean, like, I don't know who she hangs out with, but...
Now, was her friend real old and real skinny and real tall?
No, she looked like she was pregnant.
A real beast with a tattoo on the side of her?
Yeah.
Who's that, Spike?
I don't know. I've seen her with her before, though. It's pretty gross. It's like looking at a rhino with a tattoo on the side.
I sent that. She's in one of the pictures I took. I sent.
Oh, you took pictures?
Yeah, I took pictures of her passed out on a bench.
Like a homeless woman.
Oh, you did?
Yeah.
Where are these pictures?
I sent them to Spice
Let me
Boy
see here.
email.
Let me
Get them
check
to
my
me
mail.
fast.
Okay, I'm gonna forward this to you.
All right, forward them to me ASAP. Now listen, so you're at the Hilton. It's 5:30, 6 o'clock last night. The Hilton in Clearwater Beach, right?
Mm-hmm.
And now Linda and this fat girl, this rhino with a
tattoo on her side.
on the side. They're at the bar drinking. Linda's bitching about how she had to go see Nick today.
Yeah, she was trying to talk to anybody. It was only me, one of my friends, and the girl I was with.
So no wonder she didn't put the moves on you.
Well, she kept looking at my buddy and I, and like,
why didn't you hook up with her?
Well, she looked so bad. I mean, so I was listening though.
But I mean the show content.
Yeah.
Like,
well, that's what I was talking to my buddy
sit on the
about it.
grenade for us, buddy.
God.
Well, so she started like.
By the way, Sean and Joe, don't go anywhere. You're next. Go ahead.
She was trying to talk to anybody because she was like, "Oh yeah, I had to drive all the way here from 49th Street jail," and then she started like making jokes about it, and she was like looking at us while she was talking about it, and we were just like, "Yeah, we don't really, care." And she started seeing that, and she started getting kind of mad because no one was listening to her, and the bartender was ignoring her. So there was like a karaoke guy, and I came up with an idea that I went and requested to Bubba cocaine by Eric Clapton, and the guy was like, he said,
from Bubba?
Yeah, from Bubba.
Okay, I'm not there, and I'm not.
I know. So he's like, okay, well this one's for Bubba.
No, this one's from Bubba.
This one's from Bubba. He wouldn't say to Linda though, because I put to Linda from Bubba,
right.
And he did the whole cocaine, and she got pretty mad, and she started stumbling off the chair toward the beach to leave,
right,
and she made it probably about 10 feet and passed out on that bench where she laid there, and then
for how long?
Probably about an hour.
Now, and did you video? Now, see,
hour?
Hold on, time out. Had you bought one of your RCA Small Wonders that I've told everybody to have, you would have captivated the video, and you would probably have made 50 to 80 to 100 grand from TMZ.
Well,
but you haven't gotten one yet, like a jackass.
I ordered it on Friday though. It hasn't come in
on Friday.
yet.
Had you ordered it 2 Fridays ago when I told you about it, dildo, you'd have it already.
Yeah.
You know what that footage would be worth, Brent? Her pass out on a bar stool.
Wish you would have called me. I'd have come down, race down there with my own video camera.
So you got now? How many still pictures do you have of her?
4.
On the Brent, Spice, did you send the pictures
Yep,
to me?
Sent them to you.
Let me see here. Stay here, Lummox. By the way, Lummox, we're on the verge of you having done some decent work. Is there more? Is there more story and more to the story?
Well, yeah, I mean, like then she so the guy's still cocaine's what 8-minute song I think.
Yeah, ish. Yeah.
Yeah. So she starts yelling at her friend, and I guess that the fat chick, she told her to go away, and then she started passing out. And I guess one of the bartenders or one of the people that worked there told her she couldn't sleep, like lay there or whatever.
Yeah, because you can't sleep at the bar.
Yeah, well, she was like laying outside, in front of Hilton, just looking. Oh, she's horrible. I mean, she had like.
She looks like Brian Knobs in this picture.
And they told her
Poor
that she needed to leave.
I know.
Knobs my boy too.
They told her she needed to leave, and she was just like, "No, I'm not gonna leave. I spent so much money at that bar. I can sleep here if I want." And she was pretty much throwing the name game, like, "I'm Linda Hogan. I can do what I want." So.
Oh my God, these are great pictures. Spice, we need to maybe get a day run of them. Well, the first two don't do anything because they're their distance, but then the second two.
Second two, she is just literally. It does look like she's passed out on the bench here. Hang on, let me pull it up here for you. There we go.
I'm trying to. This new Google Chrome thing has got me flipped out here. I can't.
Look at this picture of her and her friend. Her friend looks like a rhino.
Hold on here. Trying to.
She's that much of a beast.
Yeah, she is, and she's got a big giant tattoo on her side of her gut.
Yeah, Linda Hogan passed out with bona fidely like fluorescent orange nails.
Nail polish. Ugh. I mean, this one, she is out.
If you would have just taken a picture of her hand, I could have told you who it was.
Just passed out.
I mean, her head looks like a man.
Man.
We can't get those on the website fast enough. Spice.
Chip's got them.
And not the only one I want is the one that's real.
The last one?
Well, the one that's her all by herself.
Right.
And it's fairly close. Let me see here.
The two last
they
ones.
would be 40. I think picture 44. Is that the one I'm looking
44 and 45, both of them.
I've not seen 45. Let me see. Hold on. Let me see. 45.
45 is pretty gruesome up close.
Actually, 45 is 44 and 45 are the only two that need to be posted because the other one have the girl in there, and the other one. So just 45 and 44 and 45.
Ugh.
So Lummox smashed to the surface.
Oh, she was bad. Like she was like, I couldn't understand half the things she was saying at the bar, and I think that's why everyone was pretty ignoring her. And there was like, it was bad. I was gonna go talk to her, but I was a little intimidated by that friend though. I didn't want to go over and talk to her because her friend looked like she probably would have kicked my ass.
Right, bouncer. You're 6'5", 300 pounds, and you're afraid of some bitch. You are
Good point, Bubba.
You are a pussy.
I was afraid of her.
He's 6'5", 300 pounds, former college athlete, football that is, and he's afraid of some
rhino with a tattoo.
Some 5'7", 160 pound, looks like she's pregnant rhino with a tattoo bitch.
That one would have said anything to me. I was shut up, Snuffleupagus, and go.
You are a pussy. By the way, good work. If you would have had your RCA Small Wonder, you could have ran videotape and done commentaries. I got Linda Hogan drunk here on the bench, and let's see if I can interview her. And you go say, "Hey, Linda," saying, "I'm okay." Lummox, good work, buddy.
Thanks
for the most part. Thank you. Sean, Northport. Hi, Sean.
Yeah. Hey, Bubba.
Yes.
No, I was just letting you know we went to the Tampa Bay Fan Fest last night. It was awesome. And, LeCavier got a little physical on the ice. I think he punched somebody because I noticed, I can't recall who it was, but he had a black eye.
Who? I mean, you mean you're talking about the inter squad scrimmage there?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes,
and Vinny punched a teammate?
Yes, sir. They got into a little scuffle. I came back, went and grabbed the beer, came back down there to where my people were sitting, my little boy, and we looked around. They got into like a little scuffle over there, and they had all the autograph signings at two different times, and one of the guys had a big shiner on his eye.
All right, well, thank you. I mean, that's part of hockey, my friend. Joe, Sarasota, I mean, altercation, like getting an altercation with a fan is one thing, but finding a guy on the ice.
That's business.
It's part of the game.
It's the scope of the game.
Yep.
Joe, Sarasota.
Hey, how are you, Bubba?
Good, buddy, thanks.
I moved here from Michigan 2 years ago, and when I first got down here and I turned on the radio, I didn't know what the hell I was going to do. So I'm really glad about you guys' show. I'm not going to gush on like some of these people do ridiculously, but I hope I heard you wrong when you were saying all the right things that me and my wife totally agree, which is, this country needs to take care of itself. We got to stop worrying about these crazy, towel heads going nuts and all these other type of things. But if I heard you correctly, you said if nuclear weapons were in Iran, then you were for an invasion. I hope I heard that wrong, or did you actually say that?
I said that if they have weapons of mass destruction, we should probably call the guy up there, that's running the country and say, hey, listen, we know what you got. and our intelligence shows A, B, and C. And if you don't take them down or disarm them, we will.
Well, I can't tell you how much I disagree with that. It'd be another thing. I mean, listen, number one, they can hide it anyway. I mean, what do you think North Korea's doing? A lot of these places have nuclear weapons anyhow.
Yeah, Pakistan.
So then what you got is another war because we go in just like before, with the same program that went on with it was a different thing with Iraq, but they ended up having nothing. And if they did, they could have hid it. I think it could be hidden. Nuclear weapons can be concealed. I don't think the U.S. can find everything out, and it would just be another.
I agree.
That we don't need.
I agree. That could end up being a problem. But I think if you have open lines of communications with the heads of various countries, and they don't think that we're these bully, boss hog and a bunch of asswipes, you might be pleasantly surprised how people may comply when you are somewhat diplomatic about it.
Well, to me, what I see happening with what you're talking about is literally, and I don't think that's an exaggeration, it could be another Iraq, just in Iran. In other words,
first of all, hold on.
What we should do, hear me out, just 1 second. What we should do is, if they have nuclear, we are able to intercept and defend them. We need to do is take care of only our country and forget everybody else, period. We're in too bad a shape, period.
Joe, I agree with you. I think, but the problem is, Joe, in my opinion, the reason why we're in the druthers that we are with Iraq is because we just 100% half-assed it, because we're so worried about being so user-friendly and part of NATO and what have not. Had we come in, had a little bit better of a game plan, and made a parking lot out of their country, and I'm sorry that there's going to be casualties, men and women within your, men, women, and kids that are part of your country. But first of all, we should have never invaded Iraq because they didn't do anything wrong.
I agree.
Secondly,
listen, the whole thing.
The reason why we cannot, make a parking lot out of their country is because it would truly be a war crime because they didn't do anything wrong. But if a country does wrong us, and like what we did to Japan with Nagasaki and Hiroshima, you know what? There's not a lot of survivors, and that was gruesome. But if a country, has wronged us to the point of whomever would be responsible for 911 then you know what? We can, as our country, the most powerful country in the world, I hope. We don't have to send ground troops anymore. We don't have to send 250,000 people on the ground. We don't have to send this many aircraft carriers to on their shores. We can do it all from the air, and we can do it in about 5 seconds, and it's over. But we half-ass it. We try to only kill a certain amount of people and make sure the women and the kids. Screw that. We don't have to do any of that. We can just literally be very swift and efficient about it, but we refuse to do that. So I don't even know why we have all this technology.
Well, then you got the whole casualty scenario. You're hitting civilians. It'll turn into a crap fest either way.
Well,
stay away from it completely.
I agree with you a lot, and there also has to be somebody to keep these people in check with regards to Brent. I mean, I think that North Korea is prime picking right now, don't you think?
Well, right now we don't know even who's running North Korea because Kim Jong-il had a stroke. We don't know if he's alive or dead.
Anyway, Joe, I do agree with you to a point, but I think if we do find a country that has wronged us, that's not being compliant, then if we do invade them or we do something, then we do it all full. We're either all in or we're all out. We don't half-ass it like the way we do now.
Yeah, well, I see what you're saying, but all in to me sounds like a lot more money for the U.S. that we can't afford. I mean, I bet I speak for a lot of Americans where we feel a lot of people are so frustrated. We feel like we just want to put a wall up away from the whole world. We lend these countries billions of dollars. They never pay us back. It's like me. Let me do a simple analogy. Here I am in my house. I'm in foreclosure. My neighbor says, God, I really need $50K really bad. I'm in trouble. Oh, here, let me loan you the $50K. It's the last I have. But I'm going to do it anyway. I mean,
Joe,
that's basically what the U.S. is doing.
Joe, you're not going to hear me argue with you one bit, buddy. I 100% think that part of our problem is that we've gone and helped every Tom, Dick, and Harry country. I 100% agree with you. I think that if we just had the savings alone in the war of Iraq, that's now on its 5th, 6th, or 7th year. I mean, give me a break. I'm with you. I'm with you.
I mean, what'd you say that's costing us a month for 12?
Between
12 billion.
Between $10 and $12 billion a month.
Okay, put it this way. Mark my words. When we pull out, if you said to me I was going to be voting for a guy named Obama 12 months ago, I would have told you everybody that's crazy. But I'm voting for that guy. And I have my thing about politicians anyway. But I'm voting for him.
That's your opinion.
Mark my words. When he pulls out, if they pull out, some other dictator maniac will take over that country, and it will be all for so much of nothing. It's not even.
Here's the deal.
Funny.
Here's the deal. I hope that Obama if he is the president, does pull out. I hope that he's not feeding us a bunch of crap. I mean, again, I'm so
I kind of worry about that. But you know what? Watch the difference between Obama and watch the difference between him and McCain. McCain's always reading. You look at Obama; he's looking at you, at the audience, and he has real sincerity and passion. That's what grabbed me with Obama.
Anyway,
McCain, it looks like he's reading, and he's so feeble. And he's like, when he said the economy is relatively strong or something close to that effect, that just said it all.
Joe, thank you for your call. I have to agree with you on many points. On many, many, many points. Now, Brent, if we had a country that really did wrong us, I mean, if we had a country that really, really, really did wrong us to the tune of like what happened at 9/11 or had weapons of mass destructions that were pointed this way or to Israel or one of our allies or something like that, and we came in and we gave them forewarning, hey, listen, get them out of here. We don't want that happening. And they gave you a big double tall man. You know, I think that we could efficiently go in, and I mean, you know more about warfare than any of us here. You and Ned you served. I mean, I don't think we have to half-ass things like we do we?
No, and I like what
one of the reasons why we half-assed Iraq is because there were a lot of innocent people in there, correct?
Well, the other part of it was Rumsfeld disagreed with General Shinseki, General Shinseki said we need 300,000 troops. Rumsfeld said, no, we can do it with a lighter, more mobile fighting force, and Rumsfeld was obviously wrong, and Shinseki was right, even though they fired a general that had been in the Army for over 30 years. He didn't know what he was talking about. But the thing being is
you'd be a smart ass.
Yeah, like the Israelis. The Iraqis were building a nuclear facility, and the Israelis just bombed that and took it out. Same thing with the Syrians. Just in the last year, the Syrians were building a nuclear facility, and the Israelis just went there and took it out. That's kind of how I like how the Israelis deal with it. They find the nuclear facility where they think it is. They just go take it out and don't invade the country and just leave it at that.
I mean, you tell him, you tell Mr. Dictator or president of whomever, you say, hey, listen, the bottom line is we know you have, facilities. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if you don't de-arm them or whatever, we will take them out, period. And we're not going to invade your country. We're not going to kill innocent, unless there's somebody at the reactor. But we're going to take them out.
Yeah.
Man, so what are you going to say? I'm sorry.
It's a pretty big can of worms, though. You're opening up because, you got Pakistan with nuclear weapons, you got India with nuclear weapons, you got North Korea with nuclear weapons, possibly Iran with nuclear. So, I mean, there's a lot of countries that we could be sending, planes in to bomb. And who are we to say, you can make the argument, who are we to say can't have nuclear weapons?
Because we have them.
I know, that's a good point.
So how about this, Brent? How about you? I don't know. Did Starware? Oh, God, I'm so stupid. When Ronnie, do we have technology? I think we do. Do we have technology that can currently shoot missiles that are coming our way?
Out of the sky, yes. ICBMs, but ICBMs are basically China, Russia, and the United States.
Okay, but we have those, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
So why don't we just, spend technology to make sure that, none of these can hit our soil through being able to shoot them out of the sky and say, you know what, we care less what you have.
As long as you do that in conjunction with protecting our borders, putting the Marines on our borders,
putting
the Army on our borders.
Yeah, absolutely.
So and saying, if you're, like China does, if you have a list of countries, if you're from these countries, you can't come into our country. I don't care what your reason is.
Right.
Sorry.
And stop worrying about, somebody building, weapons of mass destruction here, there, and what have not, and just...
If you do it in conjunction with securing our borders and securing our national sovereignty, then you're fine.
How about the Rays, man? They clinched, did they not?
They did.
They clinched the playoffs. Clinched. Now, I was not there on Saturday. Did you go, Spice? No, because you were...
I was there Friday night, and then I was there yesterday.
Oh, you were there yesterday?
Yep.
Was it kind of a letdown yesterday?
Well, I mean, look, man, the players were hungover. It was clear that they partied their ass off the night before. I mean, even on the Rays website, they went through 200 bottles of champagne, 25 cases of beer, and assorted liquor in their celebration. So, yesterday wasn't their best showing, no. But they're in.
A true professional baseball player can play hungover now.
A true professional.
Old school Babe Ruth Yankees, man.
Ned will tell you.
The Bambino.
Ned will tell you that a true professional can do anything hungover. I mean, you're a professional DJ, are you not?
You can go straight from the bar to the ball field and hit a home run if you're a true professional. Never sleep a wink.
Dan, St. Petersburg. Hi, Dan.
Hey, Bubba, how are you?
Good, buddy.
I don't know. I haven't heard you talk about it. I just started listening to you when you came back online, and I'm a little older than your average listener, but about 15 years ago, I read a book about the Trilateral Commission. I was wondering if Brent was familiar with it.
Yep. Absolutely.
I mean, what do What do you think of it?
I think it's a conspiracy, like Ron Paul says, it's a conspiracy of ideas. These are all things that exist: the Trilateral Commission, the Council on Foreign Relations, the North American Union, and they're all things that are bad for our country because it's moving towards a one world type government in which the Chinese today are advocating. As a matter of fact, this morning the Chinese are advocating that we go to a one world economic and financial system not based on the United States currency, which I think
Isn't that what George Bush Sr. said when he first started? It's world government.
Yeah, he said it's a new world order, and that they're also the PNAC, Project for a New American Century, is involved in all this. It's all bad, all of it. Bailing these banks out is the worst thing that we can possibly do. I think right now, letting them fail. Would be
I don't want
actually good.
I don't want my government being part of. I don't want my government being in the bailout business.
No, and this is all leading towards what this guy is talking about. It's all leading towards a one world currency, a one world government, and none of it is going to turn out good for the average citizen.
That's when everything started going bad. If we would just take care of our own borders, our own people, and don't worry about what's going on in the rest of the world, half these problems wouldn't be ours.
Thank you, Dan. I appreciate it. One more call. I'm way late. God, I'm always late. I'm sure you guys are probably sick of hearing it. Late. So sorry. Robbie, Jacksonville, hi.
Hey, Bubba.
What's going on?
Listen, I was at the Obama rally Saturday in Jacksonville.
Right.
And Obama said McCain was trying to bamboozle us. I think he should be a listener. And then Manson was talking about making fun of McCain, saying he's going to hoodwink you. He said that too.
Fantastic, man. Thank you for your call. Did you see where the Vermont candidate, I don't know how electable she is. Brent, you might want to look into it. This woman, lots of political candidates make campaign promises, but not like Charlotte Dennett. Are you familiar with her?
Yeah.
Is she electable or no? She's part of the progressive candidate, so I don't think that she's probably electable.
Probably not going to win, although Vermont is the only state in the country that has an independent senator from there there's no party affiliation.
That's true. They're very liberal there.
They're very independent, really, with the parties.
Dennett, age 61, of the progressive candidate for the Vermont Attorney General. She is the candidate for the Vermont Attorney General. Said that Thursday she will prosecute President Bush for murder if she's elected on November 4. Dennett, an attorney and investigative journalist, says Bush must be held accountable for the deaths of thousands of people in Iraq, U.S. soldiers and Iraqi civilians. She believes that Vermont Attorney General will have the jurisdiction to do so. She's going to appoint the special prosecutor, Vincent Belowski, who we've had him on our show before. He's the author that penned the prosecution of George W. Bush for murder. I had him on my show. Brent, you should book him on this show.
I can do it anytime. Anytime. He said he'd love to go on.
Vincent, age 74, who gained fame as a prosecutor for the killer Charles Manson, said any state attorney general would have the jurisdiction since Bush committed overt acts, including the military's recruitment of soldiers in Vermont and allegedly lying about the threat posed by former Iraq dictator Saddam Hussein in speeches that were aired in Vermont. So they're saying because Vermont people were recruited and have lost their lives in the Iraqi war, and Bush went on nationwide TV, which is broadcast in Vermont, and lied about what is happening, that would give her legal standing to take this guy and prosecute this guy.
That's right. I've read Mr. Bugliosi's book, and it's not full of nuttiness. I mean, this guy was a prosecutor in Los Angeles, prosecuted murder in Los Angeles, never lost a case, never lost a jury trial. And this guy is unbelievably smart, and his book is very methodic, and he's right as far as I can see that they would have the jurisdiction.
I don't think that's ever going to happen.
I don't think it's ever going to happen either, but I think this woman will get more votes than she would have had she not come out and said that.
Really?
Not that I think she'll get elected, but it'll get her some votes for sure.
Now, would the president have to show up?
Yes.
Well, because Scooter Libby and all these people that have standing subpoenas with the Congress, now they're not showing up, are they not?
They're not, but that's a congressional subpoena and being indicted by a state attorney general is two totally different things.
He'd have to show up.
He'd have to show up. He'd be arrested and he'd have to show up. Yeah, absolutely.
Now, has he violated, in your opinion, any war crimes?
In my opinion, yes. By waging, you know what? The number one crime we charged, and this is going to sound really bad, that at the Nuremberg trial, the number one trial, and the trial of Slobodan Milosevic, the number one charge we have against them is waging aggressive war, which means attacking a country that has not attacked you. So I think that if we're going to charge other people with that, I think it applies here, but I could be wrong.
Bubba the Love Sponge Show, back after these words.
Scratching your head on that one?
You're a really enlightened cat, and I like that about you.
So are we.
I dig it. It turns me on.
The Bubba Radio Network returns after this.
Do you want to hear all the times Hulk Hogan or Tucker Carlson called in? We have it all for you on BubbaArmyHQ.com.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Tomorrow, Lisa Lampanelli will be on the phone. She's in Jacksonville at the Florida Theater October 3rd. Love her. The best. Spice, we can talk about her HBO thing coming out, the cooperation she has with Jim Carrey.
That's right.
Wednesday, more Topless Wii Games live in studio. Thursday, Drew Lachey. I like to call him Drew Lachey. Drew Lachey, brother of Nick Lachey, on the phone. Probably won't ask any questions with regards to what he's got going on. Spice Boy has such a man crush on Jessica Simpson. Friday, possibly.
Is she a man?
Well,
what does that mean?
Whatever. Possibly Booker T and Christian Cage from TNA in the studios on Friday. Possibly. Tom the Tree Man in about, 15, 20 minutes, maybe a little bit less. We're going to do Tom the Tree Man T-ball, and that's where we've taken a helmet and we've configured it as a baseball tee. He'll get on his knees. We will blindfold people, and we will let them swing away. This ought to be pretty cool, actually. Poor Tom the Tree Man, from getting his nipples pinched by blue crabs to the gator dunk tank to the eel dunk tank to the shiz hits the fizz. Poor guy. Well, I think he controls a lot of his destiny, though. He's a buffoon, is he not?
Totally.
Various portions of television audio today. I guess there's reports that Palin had between 25 and 60,000 people.
Well, that's a big discrepancy of audience figures there. I mean, 25 or 60.
Yeah. Channel 28, I got some audio to play from hers. I'm not going to get into the... I should be able to open the paper up and read it verbatim, but it'll piss all you people off. But a lot of people are taking a poo-poo on her after seeing her speak like a robot. And even last night on 60 Minutes, somebody asked McCain, when is she going to actually start doing Q&As? And he pretty much skirted that as well. She will not take questions from the press.
Nope.
She's done one or two softball-type deals, but she refuses to take questions. I have a problem with that.
Yeah, that's, even George Bush takes questions from the press every now and then.
Thousands waited in the sweltering heat today for a chance to hear Sarah Palin speak firsthand. John McCain's pick for vice president made her first campaign stop
with Americans
in Florida today. Our Carrie.
Again, I'm not making fun of her. It's just that I'd like to, I like to get into like the crux or the meat of what she really believes in through a Q&A. I want somebody to be able to ask her questions.
Yeah, not read prepared statements.
Kavanaugh was at the Villages in Lady Lake, where the massive crowd gathered for Palin's appearance.
Palin pandemonium has arrived in Florida, and the woman of the hour did not disappoint.
And in a McCain-Palin administration, I promise you we will never forget that we are there to work for you, the people of America.
Supporters flocked to the village.
Okay, everybody keep your smart-ass comments to yourself. I know we're all just sitting here. Just keep them to yourself.
To see the Alaskan governor. They came from north, south, east, and even Tampa Bay.
I had to see her in person.
The crowd was sporting red, white, and blue, and lots of pink. It seemed like everyone here had lipstick fever, but some were just plain hot.
It's very overwhelming. I've gone through about 4 or 5 bottles of water already. Yeah.
So you say it's all worth it?
Oh, absolutely.
And for Sarah, thank you.
The 20,000-plus crowd waited in the sun nearly 5 hours. For some, it was too much to bear. But Palin re-energized the crowd, talking about the need to reform Washington and Wall Street. And she says herself and John McCain will be the ones to get it done.
So they're sweating it out here for Sarah Palin. I can tell you so was I. The campaign calling this visit one stop along the road to victory. But you can bet both Sarah Palin and John McCain will be back here in the Sunshine State several times in the coming weeks. They know how crucial this battleground is to winning the White House. In the Villages, I'm Carrie Kavanaugh, ABC Action News.
They say Florida is virtual dead heat right now. Brent, is that what you're hearing?
That's correct, yep. Florida, Pennsylvania, and Ohio are all...
Are virtually. Michigan's is a little bit ahead. Barack Obama a little bit ahead in Michigan, but it's Ohio, Pennsylvania, and Florida, which you've got to win 2 of those 3. Well, you actually got to win like 3 out of 4 if you include Michigan.
Well, you got to. I mean, McCain. I hate to say this, he can forget about Michigan. Their economy is so bad, and they're 5 years ahead of the rest of us.
Right.
They're in such bad shape.
Because of the car industry for the most part.
Yeah, because of the car industry and just the industry in Michigan, just in general, he can forget about that. And McCain should walk away with Ohio, but things have gotten so bad in Ohio that that it's tied.
Well, it's 48-48, right down the middle right here. So they're all going to be coming down here. And they're saying the I-4 corridor in Jacksonville are will be, historically, doesn't Metro-Dade go Democrat?
Yeah, South Florida goes Democrat. North Florida, for the most part, goes Republican. And it's these counties, Pinellas, Hillsborough, Orange, Seminole, and Volusia, and Duval. Those counties there are really up for grabs, and those counties are how the state's going to swing.
Barack Obama will also be back in Florida this week. The Democratic presidential nominee is scheduled to be in Tampa for 3 days of preparation.
3 days of Tampa.
For his first of 3 debates against Republican rival John McCain.
Now, where's the debate at?
I got to find out.
Find that out.
During his visit, Obama will hold a rally at Nology Park in Dunedin. That will be on Wednesday morning. His first debate with John McCain is scheduled for Friday night at the University of Mississippi in Lafayette. Obama was just here this weekend campaigning on the east coast of Florida.
Mississippi, Lafayette.
Ole Miss is in Oxford.
Good evening. Thanks for joining us. I'm Paige Kelton. After all but ignoring Florida during the primaries, the Democrats are pulling out all the stops now in the campaign for president. For the first time since accepting his party's nomination, Senator Barack Obama came to town, hosting a rally at Met Park downtown today. We have team coverage now, beginning with CBS 47 and Fox 30's Alyssa Trussell.
The road to the White House came through Jacksonville today. As you can see, thousands of people turning out for a free rally for Democratic presidential hopeful Barack Obama.
Please join me in welcoming my next president, Senator Barack Obama.
Welcomed by a roaring crowd, Senator Barack Obama talked about an issue on everyone's mind. With the crisis on Wall Street, Obama says our country is heading into an economic meltdown.
600,000 workers have lost their jobs since January. Home values are falling. Your paychecks don't go as far as they used to. It's never been harder to save. It's never been harder to retire, to buy groceries or gas.
Over and over again, the senator talked about change and leading the country in a new direction.
We can't steer ourselves out of this crisis with a driver who wants to go the same way into the ditch.
Obama says a vote for his opponent, John McCain, would mean more of the same and little help for the working class.
John McCain says he wants to do for health care what Washington did for banking. Folks, let me tell you, we don't want to go there.
Obama promises to cut taxes end the war in Iraq, lower health care premiums, increase teacher pay, and make college more affordable. He told the crowd, if you invest in America, America will invest in you.
To get our economy regrowing, we have to recapture that fundamental American promise that if you work hard, then you can pay your bills. That if you get sick, you won't go bankrupt. That your children can get a good education. That we can leave a legacy of greater opportunity to future generations. That's the change American people need. That's why I'm running for president of the United States of America.
Florida is one of the battleground states with 27 electoral votes up for grabs. Barack Obama's speech here this weekend is just one way of him trying to secure those votes. Reporting downtown, Alyssa Trussell, Fox 30 News.
Alyssa Trussell, man, she's kind of rangy, Spy. She got a little high energy, Alyssa Trussell. I want to find me a picture on her. I think she's with Fox 30 of Jacksonville.
Check it out.
Again, man, Barack's stuff sounds good, but how much of it can he really do? And how mad are we going to be if he doesn't do dick?
He's not going to. It doesn't matter. I'm at this point just looking at all, just strictly from a number standpoint. Neither one of them, nobody can do anything.
Now, before I get into this, and people say, "Oh, Bubba, you're being anti-Republican or anti-Democrat," I don't know, because I think the St. Petersburg Times specifically did not put what political affiliation that Vern Buchanan is part of, because they don't want to be guilty of picking a fight on either. They just say that he's a U.S. Representative. Vern Buchanan does not say Republican or Democrat. Do you know?
In his ads, they don't say.
They don't say either. It's just very independent and very smart.
Yeah,
that's
well,
all that basically.
Can we find out what his political affiliation is? Because
sure.
from what I can gather, man, this guy's a crook.
Let me find out and figure this out.
And I could care less. Let me just say right now, I don't know what he is because it doesn't say it in the paper.
It doesn't say in his ads either.
No,
Right?
it doesn't.
Doesn't say in his ads, but I don't care what he is. I don't care what he is, a Republican or a Democrat. In my opinion, he's a dirtbag. This guy is a scumbag. And this is what's wrong with the political process. And if he's a Republican, shame on you. And if he's a Democrat, shame on you. And if he's an independent, shame on you. This guy's an asswipe. In his campaign ads on TV, U.S. Representative Vern Buchanan stressing his modest roots and empathy with the average wage earner. Meanwhile, quote unquote, I believe in cutting taxes for working families and small businesses, the engine of our economy, which does not represent him by all means, a multi-millionaire with vast business holdings. Buchanan cut his own taxes on 2 real estate deals that experts say were structured to avoid paying more than and saving over $750,000 to federal and state governments. Shortly after winning the 2006 election, Buchanan bought a medical office in downtown Bradenton owned by a partnership. On December 18th, 2006, Buchanan's investments assumed the $7.565 million in mortgages from this investment company. Normally, property is transferred from seller to buyer by a deed, enter into public records and payment of transfer taxes, commonly called dock stamps. In this case, though, there was no deed from the partnership to Buchanan, and thus no payment of transferred taxes. Instead, the partnership transferred the property into a land trust in 2006. The land trust was then converted into a new Delaware limited liability company and saved all the taxes. Again, they're saying about $750,000. Absent from the record deed, the sale price does not appear in public records. But if Buchanan paid the same $8.4 million as a partnership did in 2004, the dock stamps would have been about $60,000 for the dock stamps alone. He's got properties all over the place. This guy's a multi-millionaire, owns car dealerships, owns land property investments, and it seems as though, Spice, this is exactly the kind of people that I don't want representing me.
Yep, you're right.
The people that can get there and say, you know what, quote unquote, this is Vern Buchanan says, I believe in cutting taxes for working families and small businesses, the engines of our economy. Meanwhile, he goes and saves $1 million by transferring one property to another that he buys into a land trust, then forming a limited liability company out of Delaware, all to avoid Florida state taxes and dock stamps. To me, man, that's dirt. What is he?
It says nowhere on his website, but on the congressional listing, it has him as a Republican.
And again, I don't want the Republicans to think that, because I could care less what this guy is. This guy's a dick. Who's he running against? Some woman, I think.
I'm not sure. Yeah, I think you're right. I think it's
the Bradenton deal wasn't the only one that was saved. Oh, listen, this Spice. There's another one in 1999. The developers of Ritz-Carlton Hotel and condos in Sarasota agreed to give Buchanan an interest in the property if he could obtain financing by August 31st. He didn't meet that deadline. The developers arranged their own financing. The case was settled in an unusual fashion. In 2002, Buchanan bought a Ritz penthouse for $5 million from a relative and sold it back to another relative for $6.35 million in just a year. As the Sarasota Herald Tribune reported shortly before the 2006 election, the deal was good for both sides. Buchanan got $1.35 million he originally sought, but saved about $260,000 by paying capital gains taxes at the 20% rate 20% rate instead of 39.6. You see, this guy, this is exactly what's wrong with Washington.
Jan Schneider is who he's running against. Now running, it says on Wikipedia, she's running as a no-party affiliation candidate. So
she ain't got a chance.
Right.
She's done. Right. She's done. And Vern Buchanan will be whisked. He'll win re-election. He doesn't have any formidable opponent, and he's out here, saving $300,000 on various purchases. Meanwhile, he wants to represent the common man and do good by the small business of today's society.
And he won't even admit he's a Republican. He tries to bury it.
Yeah. What a dick. We're gonna do Tom the Tree Man T-ball on top of his head next. Hold on.
The Love Sponge.
You don't understand just how rich he is.
Bubba.
You know what needs to be done.
Yes.
The Bubba Radio Network returns after this.
Do you want to hear all the times Hulk Hogan or Tucker Carlson called in? We have it all for you on BubbaArmyHQ.com.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
The question that almost made me fall out of my seat. I don't know how my heart beat another beat. Was under oath, sworn to God, under oath. She said she had never been drunk.
She said that under oath?
Hold on.
Under oath.
Was she confused on the fact that she's never not been drunk? I mean, you got to give her...
Dude, that just totally blew me out of the seat.
She's gone to rehab for alcoholism.
Duh.
You are listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
And Lummox sent us, I think, the Hilton Clearwater Beach yesterday. Saw Linda bellied up to the bar with some beast. And then something pissed her off. Oh, yeah, Lummox then... Spice, make sure that you report this for TMZ, okay?
Yeah, no problem.
And the story there about where Lummox then went to the DJ and requested cocaine from Bubba to Linda. That pissed her off. She went storming out of the bar drunk and ended up passing out on a bench on Clearwater Beach, of which we have 2 pictures of her passed out on the beach bench. Spice, pretty much shine that turd up and send it right to the TMZ guys.
Definitely.
Go to my website, BTLS.com, and you'll be able to see the 2 drunken, passed out Clearwater Beach bench pictures right there at BTLS.com. If I don't have time today, I have to get it in tomorrow. I guess Fox News reports that Luke Campbell of 2 Live Crew was on a red-eye flight giving parental advice. Did you hear this?
No,
it's awful long. It's nearly 5 minutes long.
I saw a couple of clips of the interview, but I couldn't catch the gist of what he was talking about.
Yeah, well, if you couldn't understand it, then I certainly shouldn't play it, don't you think?
Yeah, I couldn't catch the gist of it. But I'd have to hear the whole thing in context.
But then again, Luke is not easy to understand most of the time anyway.
Joe Mauer with 2 out.
Final out, this is when the Rays clinched at least a wild card on Saturday.
The Rays 1 out away.
By the way, Tom the Tree Man T-ball on top of his head coming up next, literally minutes away.
From clinching a place in the postseason. Fly ball, left field. Caught!
Now, Spice, was it packed capacity, Willie?
Yeah, it was, yeah.
On Saturday?
It was great.
Bottom fishers no more. The Rays are going to the playoffs.
All right.
Man, that gives me chills.
Does
it not?
That's so great for the Rays. Congratulations.
My good buddy Johnny Gomes got interviewed by Chip. Glad to see Johnny's back from Durham.
Johnny Gomes joining me.
Who's on the warm line?
Hootie.
Now first, congratulations. What in your mind is the reason you're standing here right now with this team in the playoffs?
Well, I think you got to go all the way to the top. You got to go with Andrew Friedman, Joe Madden, and the new ownership. And, they built this club. They allowed us to go in between the lines and win it for them. They put some pieces together that needed to be put together here, And, we owe it to the guys up top and, the 25 guys that were here, allowed us to play.
The thing about it is, Johnny, that this team seemed to just, no matter who stepped out, who stepped in, everybody was getting the job done.
That's the name of the game, and it was contagious. Success is contagious. Our starting 5 rolled together, our bullpen rolled together, and, we owe it to this city, to pop some champagne with them out here.
All right, you go pop some champagne.
You can bet the modern-day Neanderthal-type caveman that Johnny Gomes is, he popped his share of champagne.
They popped all kinds of champagne.
Love that guy. I love Johnny Gomes.
Yeah, I was talking to him a little bit yesterday at the game.
He big Bubba fan, is he not?
Yeah, he listens.
I could never love you like you love me.
Who else can say they're best friends with the world's greatest wrestler? Hulk Hogan is on the line.
Hooray! Did you hear about the picture that one of my interns took?
No, dude, what is up with that?
Well, my intern, Lummox, is at the Hilton on Clearwater Beach, and Linda was there yesterday, and he overheard her bitching about how she had to be at the jail today at 3 o'clock or whatever to see Nick. She was bitching about it. This was about 5:30, 4:30, 5:30, 6 o'clock. She's with some fat girl.
What was she bitching about?
I guess she was. Well, I'm just telling you what we heard. She was bitching about how she had to go down there and see him. So this is what Lummox says. So then Lummox went to the DJ and
bitching in what way? What do you mean bitching? Mad because she
Hogan. I don't know. I wasn't there. I'm just telling you what my guy said. I guess she was bitching the fact that her day was interrupted because she had to go down to the jail and see Nick.
Oh my God!
Don't get mad at me now. Don't put the big leg on me, kiddo.
No. It's just
don't tear off the shirt and try to spud me.
No,
this whole
thing.
Amazing
that she would be saying that.
Would you expect anything less, my friend?
Oh, please. All right, keep going. What else?
And then so then Lummox decides to pull a rib because there's hardly anybody there. So he goes to the DJ and requests Eric Clapton's Cocaine from Bubba to Linda.
Oh God!
And he plays it, but he doesn't play to Linda. He just plays it from. This is from Bubba, and it's Cocaine. She gets pissed out and storms out of the bar, and she's like as hammered as a human being could be, and she went and passed out on a bench.
Hey man, this is Nick blowing me up on the other line, dude. I'll have to call you later, okay?
Fine. You wanted to know my story? And I told it to you.
He cut you off.
No, I cut him off. This is live radio, my friend.
He had enough of you.
Yeah. He gave me
I
the
gotta
evil.
go.
He gave me the
He gave you the hootie?
He gave me the knock knock. Who's there?
Brother.
What?
I'm out of here, dude.
Nick's on the other line. Screw you, Hogan.
I'm gonna start using that when people call me up. I don't want to. Hey, Nick's on the other line. I gotta go.
No, just say I got a friend in jail, man. He's calling me right now.
I gotta go.
It's the only time he can call. Now, Brent, I'm at one or two crossroads here. I still have a 9:30 and a 10 to play. We'll play the 10 before we leave. But if I play the 9:30, then we could take the Tom the Tree Man T-ball clear to 20 after and play the 10 there.
Let's do that.
Probably what I should do, don't you think?
Yes.
All right.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
It's a condition of mental divergence. The Bubba Radio Network returns after this.
Make sure you subscribe to Bubba Army HQ. Otherwise, Bubba will have to take action. And there's a lot of power behind those short arms.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Now back to the BRN.
Don't forget East Bay Action Track this Saturday. United Dirt Late Model Series invades the deal. Bike show as well. About 300 or 400 bikes expected to show up. Doors open at 5 o'clock. Racing starts at 6:30. I'll be out there. Driving my 1025, the Bone car. My teammate, Big Ass Keith Knopsbitch, driving the 101 Bubba car. Sponsored by Miller Lite Protein, Supreme Protein, Hooters, Bell, Oakley, what have not. So what we've done, we've taken a helmet that's got a face mask on it, and we've put a T-type, baseball T-type configuration at the very, very top of it. And Tom's going to get on his knees and be handcuffed. And then we're going to blindfold. Are we going to blindfold? Yeah, I think we have to blindfold. Yeah, we're going to blindfold ourselves. And then we're going to take, batting practice off of Tom. Basically, in a roundabout way, we're going to take batting practice off of Tom's head.
That's correct.
That's what we're doing. So let's go.
All right, let's do it. We got yellow and white right here.
Yellow and white. Hold on. Yellow and white. And Brent.
Pot up red as well.
And red is the deal.
Red's the mixer, yep.
Brent's going to run the board. Thanks, Biz.
Nope. There you go, boss. That we're heading outside. Go beat the hell out of Tom the Tree Man again. This doesn't get old, does it?
No, this old gag.
This old gag never gets old.
This old gag don't get old.
Right.
This old gag does not get old. This old gag. Thanks, Dave Riz.
What's up, Tom? Oh, dude, I forgot to tell you about
Ned.
Tom this weekend.
Ned. Oh, he's going to smoke. Plus, at the end of the day, how much power can really Ned have?
Yeah, that swing isn't
behind
really
the deal. So what's I'm sorry, Spice, I interrupted you.
Tom the Tree Man, I see him out at Vintage down in downtown St. Pete, and he comes with one chick, right?
Right.
And then makes out with her best friend at the club, and then is weirded out because he couldn't understand why the girl he came with was mad at him.
Tom the Tree Man, are you been rolled because you are? Come here.
Such a baller.
He's
because you are Tom the Tree Man. What? Just blurt it out, Hamill. I mean, just blurt it out. What'd you say?
I was just asking Mark Anthony.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Tom the Tree Man, because you are Tom the Tree Man, world famous. Are you getting a lot of ass? And I mean, be honest. Don't lie like you do a lot.
I'm getting more clout than being on here than I ever have.
more clout than
I
being
got
on
clout.
here. Right. How's your tree service? So, you know the economy's horrible. Are you ready to close up your tree service, or are you going to be all right?
I'm barely surviving, but I'm helping everybody else out.
Right. So do you need to give like a little plug on the air for your tree service?
Oh, that'd be nice.
Well, go ahead.
Very nice.
That'd be nice.
P&T Tree Service.
P&T.
Panty or
727.
Why don't you call
P&T.
it? Hold on, you're such a dumbass. Why don't you call it Tom the Tree Man's? I mean, you should rename your. I mean, you got to cash in on your deal.
That could
You're
be
an
possible,
idiot.
right?
Should be Tom the Tree Man's Tree Service.
Okay, we'll go Tom the Tree Man's Tree Service, but it's 727-434-3379.
Look at that. He just changed the name of his business right there.
Hey, I don't have a problem.
Well, he's
with
kind of a smart ass.
He's a maverick like McCain.
I said, you know what? Fine. I'll change it right here,
All right,
now.
get in your position. Dave Rice, this is actually his idea. You know, various stunts and stuff come from various different people. And Dave, I don't know what he was, I don't know if he was on some mushrooms one night or him and Tiffany got crazy, or Dave is now going to handcuff him from behind. Dave doing his full Pat McGovern type imitation. Hey, maybe we could do a Pat McGovern type day where we put tasers to his head. Now, Tom the Tree Man has got the microphone layer. Now, do we need to put this closer? No, because it might get hit with a bat, right? All right. So we have to pot that. Oh, you got the mix minus over there. Okay, Spice, you go first.
Okay, I need a.
Okay.
I suppose I should put a blindfold on. Right?
Yeah. You can put a blindfold on, Dave. You have to help him out, Big Dick. And Tom the Tree Man is on all. In like a torture type deal, he's on on his knees, handcuffed, Pat McGovern style.
Looks like Abu Ghraib for little leaguers.
Yeah. This is the Williamsport Abu Ghraib, and he's got a baseball bat with a face mask to it. And Dave has and Dave, you know that's about right. That's about chest high. I mean, that's about waist and chest. That's a perfect strike right there. Oh yeah, Lummox. Don't worry about the phones. We'll get Lummox to take some hacks. Yeah, and Coco, if you're next door, come over and listen too. That's so Spice.
Perfect.
Spice. He's a righty. So, do you want him that way or this way? Which way? Do you want him swinging that way? Or you want him swinging this way? Okay. Get Spice. Get Spice in.
Look how compliant Tom is.
Yeah. Now, Tom, let me help.
He has no choice.
Let me help you out, Spice. Here.
Yeah, help me out.
I will. Okay. Right there.
Right here?
Yep. No,
okay.
just like that. Now let me show you. You might want to take your mic off. Somebody grab his mic. Here we go. I'm going to show you. Get your stance. Now I'm going to show you. One step up. No. Towards this way. Right there. Now up.
Oh
bit.
yeah.
Come here. Up. Right there. Right. This high. Right. That now. This height right here is where the ball is.
Okay.
So just kind of remember that, okay?
I can't wait to see this one.
Hold on. I'm going to hold on to the bat because I got to leave, okay? I'm going to hold on to the bat. When I let go of the bat, you can just do a couple little warm-up deals, but don't go any further than this, okay? Because the ball is actually right there, okay? So what we've done, I explain, I'm going to hold this. Now what we've done is we've taken a baseball helmet and we've made it into and put on the top of it, put a T, and then we blindfold the guy who's got the bat, and he takes hacks using Tom's head as a T. It's Tom the Tree Man. What's the official working title of this, Dave Rice? Do you know?
Blindfolded human T-ball.
Blindfolded human T-ball, starring Tom the Tree Man. Now, you camera guys might want to let that ball might go that way, Mark Anthony. So let me get out of the way here. Now, we don't have that mic'd up. Well, I guess we do have it mic'd up the best we can. Here we go, Spice, for his first hit. Now, stop. Lummox, you're going to be an assistant. So when the ball, wherever the ball goes, or if it falls off, you grab it and put it back. Okay, ready? First hack. Spice eyes it. He's got his. Oh, look at Spice. Spice has got it. Oh!
Was I off or was I?
You were a little bit low. A little bit low. Tom, get your head. No, Tom, get your head all the way up.
Straighten up.
Tom, you got to straighten up. Yeah, right there.
Right there.
Each guy gets 3 hacks.
Batter up.
Hold on. Yes, Spice looks like a player, doesn't he? Ready, batter up. Okay, and swing.
Oh, whiff.
About a 1/4 inch too high.
Too high?
Yeah.
Okay.
No, you're too low there.
Too low.
Right there.
Right there. Ready? Ooh.
Strike 2.
Can you hear the?
All right, I got it.
Here we go.
Am I low there or am I high?
Yeah, you're too low. Oh, you're gonna hit.
You're on his neck right
You're gonna
there.
paralyze him. No. Spice, not there. You're gonna paralyze him. Move it up a little bit. Okay, here we go.
Oh, that was a solid double.
That was a double, Matt. That was a double.
I got it.
Yeah, that was a double.
Left field line.
All right, Manson, you're next. Manson, you're next. Lummox, you help him, and you help as well, Spice.
You got it.
Spice, you got a good little form on you.
Thanks, buddy.
What are you weighing now? 198? 199?
Yeah, about that.
Spice, I think he might be more rugged than Manson now, to be honest with you.
Well, keep in mind, Manson's a bit older than me, and
almost 20 years difference.
Yeah.
Yeah, you don't need no headphones. Here we go. That's an underestimate. You need help. You look like a prisoner. No, hold on. No. Hold on. Let me have the bat here. I'm going to show you the height that you need to be at, because Big Dick's. This is, so try to do muscle memory. That's where the ball is. That's where the ball is. Okay, ready? This is Manson. Here we go. Hold on, Manson.
He might want to step out a little bit.
Manson, you might want to take. Hold on. You might take a
step back.
Yeah, about right there. Right there. Let me give you the muscle memory again.
Yeah, there it is, right there.
Muscle memory, right there. Okay. Tom the Tree Man, human baseball tee. Here we go.
Are you ready?
Yep. Oh! You're way too low. You actually hit
way too low. I mean,
oh my God!
That was like
you missed the helmet. Mike, you got to Manson. You got to go higher.
Higher.
Come here. Let me have your baseball bat. You got to go higher. That's horrible. Back up. Back up. Right there. Right there.
Well, you see,
now that's where you get. That's where you're at. That's where you're at. Right here. Not here. You're going to paralyze him.
Well, normally, see, let go a second.
I know, but no, you can't have your normal swing here. This is not an adjustable tee.
But I'm like Dave Winfield. I like swinging
hey, Manson, you're hitting him.
Hey,
Lummox, hit the ball.
Until I get ready.
Well, I know, but you can't do that. You can't do that, Manson.
That's why I missed.
Okay, hold on. Let me give you muscle. Oh, stop. Easy. Stop, Mike. Hey! Stop. Manson, stop. Here.
Okay.
Back up right there. There's muscle memory right there.
Right there.
Say muscle memory.
Muscle memory.
All right, here we go.
It's too low. Okay.
Here we go. Muscle memory. Oh, wait. You got one more.
Another one right upside Tom's head.
Right in the back of the skull. I mean, seriously.
Right there.
Okay, this is your last. You only
how low
get.
was that?
It was about 3. You know what? It's about 6 inches low, actually.
Yeah, you're right there. That's where you need to be. Right muscle memory, Willie.
I got you.
This is your last attempt, regardless of what happens. Here we go.
All right.
Human T-ball.
Now, it went off the tee, and it went up, and 25 caught it, but nonetheless, it still was able to hit the back of his head. Look at his helmet. Look at how far up you knocked his helmet. You almost knocked it off of his head, which is pretty amazing.
We're at 17. 17.
All right, it's Bubba's time. We're at 17 right now, Bubba. So we're going to go ahead and blindfold Bubba and let him get his hacks in. Okay. Now, Bubba's got the blindfold on here. Hang on. Let me tie you up.
Me, then Lummox, and we're done.
Yeah, we're at 17 right now.
Okay.
All right, there you go. You're all blindfolded up. Now, hang on. Now, let's. You need to be right.
Let me get the bat.
Get your stance. Get your stance. Don't swing yet. Don't swing yet. That's right there. Oh, actually, you are right there. You're right there. I don't even need to show you anything. You're good. Here we go. Bubba with swing number 1. Bubba getting in his stance. Oh! You just missed a little low. Well, I wouldn't say you missed. I mean, you did hit Tom, which is kind of nice, but just a little low. We'll try it again.
Yeah, give it to
All right, here we go. Hang on. Let's see where you at. You want to be right here, buddy. Right there.
Am I lined up?
You are lined up right there, solid. Yep. Go for it. Swing number 2. That was nice. That was pretty strong.
Center field.
Decent drive, center field.
Last one.
I don't think it would have gone 404, but nonetheless, not bad.
I'm Bubba. Listen.
Adam's ripped his chin off.
What's wrong?
Is he bleeding?
The thing.
Oh, okay. No, we're all right.
One
more swing. All right.
Lummox, how my swing look? Decent?
It looks good.
Thank you.
Batter up. Here we go.
Give me
It's on there. Right there, buddy.
Muscle memory?
Right there. You feel
memory?
it? That's the ball right there. And action.
BJ Upton out there in the outfield.
Okay, am I right here?
Here we go. No. You're a little low. There we go. Right there.
Oh, that was way low. I almost knocked the helmet completely off.
You just clubbed him.
I can't breathe. It's on my Adam's apple.
Are you hurt?
Somebody help him.
He can't breathe. It's on his head.
Hold on, Tom.
You can't breathe.
He couldn't breathe. It was on his Adam's apple because you knocked it so hard.
Tom, talk to me.
I couldn't breathe for a minute. I was stuck in my Adam's apple. I couldn't.
Couldn't breathe.
Put the helmet on.
All right, put the helmet on and be a better dad.
You good?
All right, here we go. Stop letting your 15-year-old sleep with black guys behind your back. Here we go. All right, we got Lummox, and Lummox is a.
Lummox might have a pretty good shot at this because he's so tall. This will line up nicely with his swing.
Hold on, let me give Lummox muscle memory. All right,
here we go. Lummox with swing number 1.
Lummox, right there.
What a caveman.
Is 100% caveman muscle memory. That would take it 404 like I did. Bubba Gomes. I'm Bubba Gomes, bitch. Oh my God! Oh, my God.
Tom, are you all right? Seriously.
Tom, are you okay?
That was a little rough.
Oh, are you okay?
The Neanderthal over here took a
Are you okay?
mean swipe at you.
My head's pounding like
Just one more from Neanderthal. Just one more.
Pop-up to first base.
That was a pop-up.
Lummy, come
How was
on.
my ball? How was my ball? Decent?
Not bad, not bad. All right, Lummy, hang on, buddy.
Give him muscle memory. This is the last one.
Here it is.
This is
Lummy,
the last one right here.
buddy?
Muscle memory, Willie.
All right, now go when you're
Really?
ready.
Hey, Lummox.
Come on, jacket.
Really jack it, Lummy. That was gone. Gone. Tom, a tree man.
You all right, Tom? Oh, relax, guy.
Look at this. Look at this.
Oh, man, we scuffed up the helmet and everything.
Oh, man.
The bat's almost broken.
Yeah, the bat.
You've got to go to BTLS.com to see the preview on this, and then Bubba Raw to see. This is funny stuff. Move. Dave, you're a sick bitch.
Sorry about that.
You're a sick bitch.
All right, see you, Tom.
Hey, Brent, go ahead and hit Jesse. And then tomorrow, Lisa Lampanelli. Is it Lisa Lampanelli tomorrow, Brent?
Yes, it is.
Lisa Lampanelli tomorrow. And then Topless We on Wednesday. So we're out of here. We'll see you guys tomorrow. We love you. Thank you for making us #1. MJ's my little bitch. I'm going to kick his ass. I hate him.